Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
Let's do it, buddy.
All righty. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. He never called it Weird Job Wednesday.
Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday.
The cough is starting. I can hear
What are you
it.
doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob?
Big
Do
fat
you
slob.
make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Streamline Florida. If you need a mortgage, you need a refi, go talk to Brian Zymel and his team. They will help you out. They've helped hundreds of BDMs, and you probably have equity in your house, so maybe you want to consolidate your credit.
I'm going to start
whatever.
changing what I say. I'm going to start saying we're nearing thousands of BDMs that he's helped.
I don't know about thousands.
We
It's
gotta
been hundreds.
we got to be near 8,000. Got to be near.
Maybe. It's been...
A long time, dude.
It
What
has
if
been a long...
what if it's a customer that's used them more than once?
Yeah,
Does
that
Oh,
counts.
yeah, that
That
counts.
counts.
Yeah, we
I'm
gotta
3
be-
times right
Yeah,
here.
We gotta be around.
This is just like podcast downloads.
Right?
If you go to our show and hit it 9 times, that's 9 downloads.
Get it while the rates are still good.
I
So
thought you were going to say get it while you can, which
Yeah.
almost sounds kind of dirty.
Anywhere in Florida, they could do it over the phone.
They
too.
can indeed. Brian and his team are the best. Who do we have today, Tom?
So one of our new sponsors, Morganic Meats,
Yes.
which we are happy to have because having a proper butcher sponsor has been something that we've all wanted for a while.
It's the finest hot dog money can buy.
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God, I ate so many hot dogs.
And to talk to us about being a Florida farmer, butcher, butcher shop owner,
Hot dog maker.
we've got JJ from Organic Meats on the line. What's going on, JJ?
Hey, how you doing, guys? I got a special treat for you. The main man, the farmer, just walked in, Mr. Morris Sr., if you will.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, Daddy's in the house, boys. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
It's Meat Daddy.
Yeah.
I was out running cows and swung by the shop to check on them before I went over to the, the place somebody wants to talk about where we got to do the deed to the animal. And JJ said you are doing a bit, so I figured I'd jump on.
all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're talking about how good the hot dogs are and the other stuff, but answer this question. Is there any other shop that you know of where you can meet the man that actually raises the animal?
No, and I want to
That
talk
is-
to you guys about this because it is a now who started Morris Family Farms? Was it your father?
So my grandpa up in northern Ohio started the family farm. His dad, to my great-great-grandpa, when they came over to America, settled in a town called Wyandotte, Ohio, northern Ohio.
Okay.
In 1946, my grandpa bought a farm, 160 acres, for $7. And then for whatever reason, they moved to Florida in the late 60s, lost everything they had, went broke. My dad went down to South Florida and started raising sugar cane in the Everglades, and that's where I was born, in a little town called Pahokee. And my dad farmed for a big company. And then when I got out of high school and a little bit of college, met my wife, got married, I started row cropping farming. And it started as JDM, Jonathan David Morris, JDM Farms. And I lost everything we had in 2006 down to one pickup truck. I mean, I lost everything, the house, the farm, the ranch. We were farming 635 acres down there. I lost everything. And then over the next 10 years, we rebuilt as a family. So we changed the name to Morris Family Farms because it's not about me anymore. It's about the whole family.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. What a great
Wow.
story.
Now,
Most people were probably having heart palpitations and hearing you lose everything about 9 to 12 times during that.
Yeah.
That shows determination. That shows honesty, working hard. That's your grit, Tom.
So
right there.
what I'm curious about is when, like, you guys now obviously have all the meat and everything, but you started with produce. And when you farm produce, like, what can you farm in Florida? Because it's not unlimited, right? Like, there's certain things that will grow well, certain things that won't. Like, let's talk about the produce first.
Well, it's all seasonal. And people get mad at seasons, but I didn't make seasons. God made seasons. So, you know, people would come down. When we used to do the Lake Yola Farmers Market, we did that for 12 years. People would come down, you know, in the middle of July, and they'd be mad because we don't have strawberries out. Well, we don't have strawberries. You can't grow them in the heat right now.
Yeah.
And, of course, they'll say, well, Publix has them. Well, yeah, Publix has them from California. They're gas, they're green, they're shipped. You know, they're terrible strawberries. So, long story short, you can grow everything in Florida as long as you're growing during the right season. So, Florida, a lot of people don't know this, but Florida produces more sweet corn than any other state in the country.
Didn't know that.
All right, we produce over 1 million boxes of sweet corn between April and the end of May, going into the 4th of July.
That's not very long. To make 1 million boxes, that's no time at all.
Well, when you say sweet corn, is just like corn that it has more sugar content to it?
Yeah, so sweet corn is what we call people corn. Horse corn is what they grow up north and out west, you know, and that's the corn that everybody's like, oh, yeah, I grew up in Ohio and we had corn. Yeah, great, that's for horses. Our corn's for people, you know. And they do grow a little bit of sweet corn up north, but the majority of the fields and all the GMO crap and everything you hear about is all really for, like, either horse corn or feed corn or corn that goes in everything that's at your grocery store. Everything you flip over, either cornmeal, corn syrup, corn something's in the back of it.
Yeah.
So that's that corn. The corn we grow is what we call people corn. It's sweet, it's bicolor, it's yellow, it's white, different varieties. You know, we grow it, we pick it by hand, put it in boxes, and send it to packing houses. So before I started in Lake Mary, JJ, and he actually helped me a little when he was little, we used to pull corn, and that was part of my job. I was just a big, you know, white migrant worker, for lack of a better word. We would follow the corn circuit from South Florida all the way up to Indiana and back, pulling sweet corn on mule trains. It'd be me, another mechanic, and, you know, 86 Haitians or 86 Mexican guys, and we would just go to the fields and we would pull 10,000 boxes a day of sweet corn.
10,000 boxes a day. You and what sounds like a very small army of people would pull 10,000 boxes. That's insanity.
Yeah. Also,
this is your grit, Tom. This is like grit plus.
Just hearing you talk makes me tired. Because it's all hard ass work.
Yeah,
You know,
not to mention that all throughout you pulling the sweet corn, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're losing everything multiple times.
I'm not joking. I dread walking to Publix at lunch.
I read an
across the street.
I read an email.
I'm like, it's hot as hell outside.
I read an email this morning about something that I ordered having a delay, and I cried.
So,
well, here's the thing. In farming, in hand farming, people get paid by the piece, not the hour. So, if you're not producing, you're not making any money.
Right.
And when you got a wife and a bunch of kids at home, and you leave the house at 4:00 in the morning, and you come back in the evening, you ain't made no money. Mama's not happy. Mm-hmm. So she doesn't want you to go out and pick 1,000 boxes of corn or 2,000 boxes of corn. You got to go out and produce because you get paid. You know, for instance, the pickers that work, so there's 22 pickers on the ground. Those are people who walk the road picking corn as fast as they can pick it off the stalk. They make 22 cents a box. And then you have, like, your machine driver. He'll make $1.20 a box. You have a loader guy that makes $1 something a box. So if these guys aren't pumping out north of 6,000-7,000 boxes a day, they're not making any money.
Whoa!
Yeah, now don't get me wrong. You can make a lot of money as a field picker if you got drive and you want to go do it and you don't mind working hard every day. There's a lot of people that do it still today. They get up every morning with their families. They go out and they pick vegetables, and they make a very good living.
Right.
The media will tell you how bad it all is, and it's all dehumiliating and dehumanizing and blah blah blah. But man, it's great. There's nothing more liberating than to get your butt out at 4 o'clock in the morning, and by 6:30. Did y'all ever play sports?
Oh yeah,
You start like at 2-a-days. And you got the diarrhea because it's so hot and you don't work so hard and there ain't nothing left in your body.
Yeah, you get the diarrhea.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that with 2-a-days. Yeah, I do know what you mean. Like there isn't. Tom was just talking about how he's doing this project in his backyard with his plants, and you're speaking on exactly what Tom talks about you can look at it at the end of the day and it's real
it's
work.
satisfying.
And it's satisfying and it's tangible.
Yeah.
And you look at you look at 10,000 boxes of corn and you say, I did that.
There's no better beer than the beer at the end of a hardworking day.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, I mean, it's like, or whatever it is, it's like relaxing at the end of a hard work day is better than relaxing all day long, for sure. Anyway, it's so.
No, listen, I don't do a lot of drinking anymore, but you pull 10,000 boxes of corn. The mechanic's name was Bobo Brooks. And Bobo Brooks, because we're men, we used to drink straight Budweiser.
Yeah.
An ice chest full of Budweiser. When you get to the end of that road and you park the mule train and you start blowing it off, and cleaning it from the end of the day, they crack open a couple ice cold Budweisers. That'll get you ready for supper, get you home, put you to bed. So
This is some old Florida, like
Real
real man.
ass.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to
how
ask
did
you
you
this.
transition to meat?
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you the difference, like, between small family farms and what we are probably most people are used to, which is like
Conglomerate
giant
shopping,
corporate farming, and that, like, what's the difference in like how the produce and meat?
So first, let me answer because I heard the question. Transition to meat. That'll be a real quick one. So we were up here. Working and selling. My children stayed home with my mom and dad. My wife and I came up here and we started selling sweet corn on the side of the road. We'd be down at Dean and Lake Underhill, and we'd be at different places. And then we accidentally found Lake Eola Farmers Market. We got into the farmers market, and we were just meeting people, talking to people, and we were telling them about our life. And they were kind of, if you would, jealous. They were like, "Well, how can we get a chicken that was raised on a farm? How can we get this and that?" So we kind of started meat because people were just asking for it. My dad always kept 4 or 5 pigs and a cow and maybe a couple ducks and some rabbits. And we always had meat animals when I was growing up. That was just part of our life. We never really sold it. It was just, that's how we ate. We didn't eat from the grocery store. So we started it because people were asking for it. So I got into heritage hogs, the old-fashioned Duroc, Berkshires, and then we added in some Mishans. And, we started with 1 boar and 2 sows, and, we started breeding, and now we're up to 80 pigs. And our cows, we started with 1 cow and, 2 cows, and now we're up to 40.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of how we got into the meat. And then we realized real fast, nothing against farmers markets, but my goodness, they're becoming like 7-Eleven. When we first started 13 years ago, they were a specialty thing. You had Winter Park, you had Lake Eola, you had this one and that one, and people would come to your markets and you can make a living.
Yeah.
Well, now there's one in Castleberry, there's one in Longwood, there's one in College Park, there's one. They're everywhere. So
Tom lives in Castleberry, and I told him to stop that, and he pushed it through. He said, "I don't care." He says, "I don't care. They're like 7-Elevens."
I just buy my stuff from Costco and then I repackage it and sell it as.
That's stolen valor, sir.
I sell it as specialty honees, and they'll buy whatever. People are dumb.
Do you have to? You probably have to fight that a little bit, right? Like you have to prove to people that you are a small, hardworking, family-owned farm.
In the beginning, yes. In the beginning, you have to explain to people why you're different.
Right.
And I don't believe in having to badmouth people all the time to prove how I'm different. So I will be honest with you, and I will tell you, hey, the guy that's telling you he grows it all, it's all organic, it's all this, it's all that, and he's selling it to you out of a cardboard box that says Argentina on it, or Ecuador on it, or Mexico on it. But he's looking at you in the face and saying, "Oh yeah, I grew that." So when we first started, we ran across that a lot, where we would literally be honest to people and say, well, we don't grow Haas avocados. We don't grow red Felix grapes in Florida. That's not possible. And they'd be like, well, the guy at Winter Park does. Well, no, he's lying to you.
Yeah.
Well, John,
There's a lot of that.
Well,
it took a little while, and I'm not picking on Winter Park. I'm just giving you an example.
No, it's an example. I got you.
It took a little while to get people to understand, all right, we grow lettuce, we grow corn, we grow cabbage, we grow tomatoes. Yes, I'll sell you this other stuff because you want it, but don't come in here and foolishly believe that I grow everything on the table. And people actually, they were like, wow, we've never been, blatantly told the honest truth before. We love it. One of my good customers, Mitchell Camille, that's why he's our customer, because of our blatant honesty. And him and his family, they buy a lot from us and they support us. And but anyway, so the honesty part overrides, the lies and the deceit of other people.
Sure.
And we tell people the truth. I mean, we had a customer come in the meat shop, and she got mad at us because she thought JJ was shooting cows and cutting them off the bone every day fresh. And I was like, what are you talking about? Now, first of all, that's illegal. Second of all, you can't eat a cow that was shot at 7 o'clock in the morning. But people have a false impression of what they think organic, small, local is. You know what I mean?
You are my favorite guest. I just have to give you a compliment. Just the way that you're no BS and the way that you talk to us is it's so good, and it's what I needed.
It's real.
It's real, and I needed this today, and you're making me laugh because you're just so
the meat and
honest.
The meat and produce is coming from him. His hands, like he worked on it.
But I like that. And what I'm laughing at is the idea of you having to tell a lady you can't eat a cow or a pig that you shot at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's just funny to me. I'm sorry.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
That's funny.
So
man.
let's talk real quick because we don't have too much time, but I want to talk about the difference in quality in meat.
There you go.
And a lot of people don't really understand what goes into the meat that they eat and consume.
I think most people don't understand anything about it.
Or what's in it, or how the animals are treated and all that. So let's talk about the differences in your quality of meat as opposed to like meat you would buy at a superstore.
Okay, so if you come to us and buy a piece of meat, whether it be pork, steak, chicken, you're gonna taste it and you're gonna be like, "Wow, that's fantastic." If you go back to the grocery store because you're like, "Yeah, I went to Morris's, it was good, but is it really that good?" Right? So you're gonna go back to the grocery store, buy a piece. The first thing you're gonna notice is, "Wow, this is a little waxy," or the texture is very different.
Yeah.
So then you come back to us and you buy another piece and you ask us. So what causes that? And you don't even know this subconsciously because you've been trained. Even though we all think we're independent and we're this and we're that and we're super smart, the grocery industry has trained us how to shop, what to buy, when to buy it, how to buy it, and how to eat it, and what we're supposed to think about it. And we just go in subconsciously and we just pick stuff out in the store because that's all we've ever been taught.
Right.
So when you come to a guy like us and you're looking at the case, and Tom, you've been in here, and I've seen you in here, the pork chops look different. They're not all exactly the same because pigs aren't supposed to be the same, right? God didn't make pigs all the same.
No.
USDA did. So a lot of things that happen. So like in our industry, for us personally, we'll raise the cow, and like right now I'm getting ready to take 2 cows, to the slaughterhouse. We do it naturally. We do it biblically. We shoot them, we bleed them, we hang them. In big commercial kill lots, they line them all up. They hit them with an electrocution rope. They're flopping around on the ground. They've been electrocuted or they've been gassed to sleep. And then they stick them and bleed them so the blood's in the meat on the ground. It's not supposed to happen that way. You're supposed to bleed an animal naturally so all that blood comes out and it doesn't stay in the meat. All right? So now you have that problem that they've created because they're trying to kill 7,000 cows a day to feed the world. So to offset that, they use sodium nitrate. I'm sorry, sodium. What is that? Oh my goodness, my brain just died.
You're working your ass off.
Yeah, you're good.
Listen, I can barely talk, and all I do is talk. So,
I
sit in the AC and talk.
Yeah, they use nitrous oxide, the same thing you put in race cars, and then they also put some different gases in there to fake age the meat. So we hang our cows for a minimum of 14 days, sometimes 21, and that gives the meat a natural time for the not necessarily bacteria, but for the meat to break down.
Sure, yeah,
sure. All right. Well, out west in the big lots, they kill them. They cut them into these primals that you see here in the grocery stores, and they're bright red, and they're pink, and they're pretty, and that's all gas-induced. None of that is natural. So at our place, at Morganic Meats, you're never going to get, meat that we've gassed like that on our beef, the chicken, and I may be talking real fast. If you want to talk about this again, I can slow down and we can do a more in-depth process about the meat. But on the chicken, we pride ourselves. We call it 3 days dead. We bring our chicken in fresh on Tuesday and fresh on Friday, and you're never going to buy chicken from us that's more than 3 to 5 days since it's been killed. Wow. There are no label laws, right? Our wonderful House and Senate, Congress, while we're fighting over the president and race and everything else, they've abolished label laws, and they've abolished origin of country label laws also. So two things that means. One, they no longer have to tell you where the animal's from when you walk in the grocery store. It can be Mexico, China, Canada, Argentina, Australia, can be anywhere. They no longer have to tell you is it American cow or offshore cow or pig or chicken. The other thing they did is to help the big stores, they did away with label laws. So let's say you walk into Publix, Dan, your wife says, hey, go in there and get me some chicken breast. You walk into Publix, and you see that the chicken breast says 7-11 on it for today's date, and you're like, wow, I don't want chicken. It's going bad. I'll wait to come back tomorrow. So you go back tomorrow, and the chicken says 7.23 on the pack, and you're like, oh, great, fresh chicken, and you grab a pack. Yeah. Well, what you don't know is last night when the store closed, they took all the chicken that said 7-11, took it out of the pack, ran it through a chlorine rinse, iced it, washed it, repackaged it, and it's the same chicken you could have bought the day before that you thought was expiring, but now they've added 7 more days to it.
Yeah, I mean,
so we don't.
It makes sense.
So there's all kind of stuff that goes on like that. 90% of the pork in America is owned by the People's Republic of China. So when you get into pork, it's actually an American thing. Yeah, so Smithfield Farms is the largest producer of pork in the world. Yeah. And China bought them 2 years ago. Oh, wow. And a lot of things they do, like you'll see pork raised in the USA, right, or pork, United States pork. Well, they'll birth pigs in Pennsylvania, put them on barges, send them to China where there's no regulation, grow them to 200 pounds in like 30 days, send them back, process them in Pennsylvania, and it's USA pork. And you're like, oh, yeah, I support USA pig farms.
Our listeners, fatten themselves to 200 pounds in 30 days. I've seen them. I've seen them.
Well, John,
our pigs. JJ actually has a fun picture of him drinking a cup of coffee, sitting in the pig field. Our pigs are raised 3 miles from our shop. Well, maybe 4 miles. As you can drive out to our pig farm, and our pigs are in mud, they're in dirt, they're in shade, they're in the woods.
Yeah, they're doing pig things.
Living the life. They're living the life they're supposed to live. They're not stressed out. There's not 5,000 of them in a pen.
Right.
So we use no antibiotics. We use no steroids. We use no growth hormones. We use no GMOs in the feed. I spend extra money, and I drive to the feed mill. I'm going there tomorrow to get 4 ton, which is 8,000 pounds of GMO-free. Let me repeat that: GMO-free ground feed. So yes, you have to feed your animals in Florida. This whole delusion of 100% grass, that's not a reality.
John, could you feed a human to a pig like in Snatch, the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Would a pig eat a whole human?
We should bone and all.
I don't know. Y'all old enough to remember Silence of the Lambs? I mean, I know I am. Yeah. I think it was the second movie they made where they fed the guy to the pigs or something.
Cannibal.
Yeah, so the pig will eat everything. And the way God made pigs, they can digest anything and everything. They'll eat your bones, they'll eat your carcass.
Teeth.
We should do a contest where we have your pigs eat one of our listeners. One of our big ones.
Yeah. I mean, we'll let him go of natural causes.
Let's have the pigs eat Norm.
No.
Norm versus the pigs.
Well, John,
I'm gonna need. Let's do that competition, but I'm gonna need $2 million in cash up front. So
Don't
me
talk
and
about
the
this
family
on
can
the
leave the country after you do it.
well, John,
Talk to him again.
John, you're the best,
Yeah,
man.
we got to take a break. We'll talk to you again,
the,
but
the
I
chat
appreciate
room loves you. They want you to have your own segment. Meat Tales.
We'll get you on the show again for sure. But again, I want to let everybody know Morganic Meats in Lake Mary.
All praise the Meat Daddy.
He's at the farmers market, Lake Mary's farmer market.
Yeah, we'll do it. All praise the Meat Daddy.
Every week.
Go see the family and get yourself some good vittles.
John.
Yeah, JJ's up here kicking butt, man. JJ's making. We started, just so you know, real quick before you go to break. We started with my grandpa's recipe from 1901. I gave that recipe to JJ, and then I've let him expand. And he's making 15 different types of sausage, like 7 different types of burgers.
It's awesome.
JJ's kicking butt. He's creating stuff up here all the time.
Well, he's doing a great job, and so are you, man. And we couldn't be more proud to get to work with you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. I'm gonna swing by there this weekend to grab some burgers and steaks. And we'll talk to you later. Okay, John?
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right,
see ya.
man. Be good. I feel bad wasting his time.
No, I know.
Like,
Originally, we were talking to John's son, JJ.
We'll have to do a chatting with the masters with him, but we got to get the hell out of here. We're way over.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Or is this? Are we starting?
We're starting.
God, hey. We're starting the show, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Karaoke Thursday.
How are you?
So, yesterday, Daniel got a pretty big chest piece tattoo done. Now, I mean, not done, but started. And so it was to cover up your other tattoo, right?
Yeah, I've always had a tattoo on my chest for, God, I want to say like 15 years?
Yeah, it's been a while.
About that?
Probably more than that.
Yeah, I've always had a little chest tattoo. It was a smaller chest tattoo that said "Paid to Hate."
Yeah.
You know, and it's about kind of I mean, I'm not going to go into that part, but having the word hate on you these days, not necessarily a fun thing to explain at pool parties.
Yeah.
Even if it is under the, because it means whatever it means to the person who gets it done, but it never meant something like outwardly, let's say, aggressive or I think people want to immediately go to like racist or immediately go to, oh, well, you are a maybe a metal, like a satanic evil person or something. But it's a triggering word. Like, I don't use it in my house, and I don't want Maisie to use it. You see what I'm saying? So why would I have it?
Yeah, but you meant as a you're hating on things, like joking.
Well, actually,
making fun of things.
Actually, it was meant more like paid to hate, like in the fact that we're all sort of paid to hate. Like, money is this sort of thing that drives wedges between almost every relationship. I've seen it ruin parts of my family. That was where it sort of came from. But yeah, people are going to take it or interpret it however you want. But I just kind of wanted to get it covered up or get it changed, get it updated. And Derek from the East, Derek Jennings, and we've known those guys for forever. Earl and all the guys over there, and Steve, and they're just wonderful dudes. And I went to get it done, and I've had plenty of tattoos. My entire left arm is covered from fingers to shoulder. I've had another one of Maisie on my right arm. But man, this was aggressive. Woo.
Well, your chest.
And I'm old. I feel like since I'm older that, like, because Andrea.
Pain is, it hurts more.
Andrea asked me, Andrea started clowning on me a little bit. She's like, well, you sat a lot longer than that for Earl, like when you got your sleeve done. Like, you've sat.
Your pain tolerance goes down,
I believe so.
But also, I would argue that your chest is way more sensitive than your arm.
That's kind of what.
Like, I'd rather be tattooed on my arm than my chest and my sternum.
Yeah, the center of my chest. Yeah, right there. That is not fun at all.
And then your T's.
Yeah, I had one on my rib cage, and it was like, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, you do have one in your rib cage. You're right, and you have another one on this under.
The inside.
That's a hard spot.
I have one on the back of my
too.
neck. That one sucks.
So I didn't realize how
spots.
big it was going to be
big.
because you basically.
I don't think I realized how big it was going to be.
It's from it's your entire chest, right?
It is, yeah. It's now, as Derek put it to clown, and he's like, "You ready to blast that chest, bro?"
You got the old Conor McGregor now.
Yeah, I got the chest blast now.
And are you going to show us once it's done? I saw the picture of the outline. What is it?
It's a traditional Florida tattoo, very much in the theme of what my daughter and I love for her room. She really loves like orange. The traditional old school Florida Orange Juice Commission's mascot was Orange Bird.
Yeah.
And that was created by the Disney Corporation, I believe. And or the National Citrus Commission, I think it's called. And we like a lot of that 60s and 70s kitschy Florida style art.
Yeah, it's cool.
So we're doing some magnolias. I believe there's 3 oranges. And then up at the very top, there's a lemon for my mom. And I'm not to get all emotional, but there's like a lemon for her Jack Lemon tree.
Yeah.
With like some orange blossoms around it. And so much cooler, than what I had. What I had will still be there. It's perfect. He did a bang up job, man. Really, really well done. It is big, but I love it. I love it.
When they go to plan to cover up a tattoo, like obviously it's not a huge cover up because it's just like words, but it's still like dark lettered words. When you cover that up, how does he figure out, like, is it all planned out?
Yes.
Or is it like once he puts it on, he can
Yes.
on the fly?
Yeah.
You
You summed it up perfectly.
Okay.
It is all planned out, but if
You'll
there
have to make some adjustments.
Yeah, if there's
probably.
some shading or different colors he wants to change. Like right now, it's going to work out perfectly because some of the leaves for the traditional citrus will have like greens and a little hint of like almost a tannic brown, like where it's like seasonal changes and stuff like that. And then there's some like, I guess, twigs that kind of come around that help out too, but that really just makes it look more like traditional citrus trees. It's awesome.
And that is, because you don't want to see, like, obviously you have your whole chest piece. They're like, why do you have paid to hate oranges? I still see
I hate oranges.
Why do you have I hate
It's
oranges?
one of my favorite fruits. No, you won't.
Yeah. This is completely covered up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dude, but you say it's because you got older, you're more sensitive now. I'm saying it's because the chest hurts.
It's probably both.
I feel like all that
Did
chest
it
area
get
is
around your nips
sensitive.
at all?
Oh,
your
yeah,
nips.
it's right on them.
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
gonna
it's
get
there.
you.
All that's super sensitive.
It's the nips. It's right under the neck. And then I got a lot more.
You know what's
I
interesting?
couldn't take anymore, and that was what was sort of embarrassing, is that like I got to a point where, and I've never had this happen before, where it's like my feet were like on the thing, and I'm just laying there, and I couldn't control them. They're just going like, and I was
your
like,
nerves.
I go, hey man, can you feel that? And he goes, no. Well, no, it was almost like it was less nerves and more like
It's like a tick, right?
like just the pain was making me like making my feet mad or something. It was like, and I'm like, can you feel that? He's like, no. He's like, normally if people do that, it translates. I could feel it. He's like, no, you're fine. He's like, you're sitting fine. I go,
It's like a reflex.
yeah, it was weird.
know-
Definitely the most painful one yet, but it'll be worth it. So worth it.
What's interesting to me is like our entire society, as we get more technology and everything gets easier and less painful. For instance, like we have better shoes and more comfortable clothes, and like surgical procedures, we have better anesthesia and things that make less pain, right? Mm-hmm. And with tattoos, really, besides that, like the invention of the
tattoo gun,
the gun, or they like to call it not a gun, they call it something else,
a machine.
Besides from the old like Polynesian hammer spike.
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah. Jenna Hurd has some traditional,
Yeah.
the traditional tattooing.
But the machine, and maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like it's been the same for a long time, and it's just as painful now as it was 50 years ago.
Well, it's needles going into your skin.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with a piercing. It's going to pretty much be all the same, right? Because it's needles going into your skin.
Well,
how can you make that less painful?
I don't know. I'm surprised they haven't invented, or like I know there's lidocaine and numbing stuff like that, but like something else that somehow makes it less painful, right?
You
know what I'm saying?
As I was going
I'm
to the
surprised
shop,
there's
you
not
get a fake tattoo.
yeah, but I'm surprised there's not like some shop that advertises like less painful tattoos. Like that would be a marketing thing that I would assume would be creative because the pain aspect of a tattoo keeps a lot of people from getting tattoos, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
I think the majority of people.
So you would think that there would be some sort of invention that would create a less painful tattoo or a way to maybe stain your skin without the needles.
Permanent staining, yeah.
And I don't know. I'm just saying I'm surprised there hasn't that.
I am too.
you know.
Like, even as I was driving over there, and I'd never been to the shop. But I don't know if you have you been inside?
Not in the east.
Oh
I've
my
seen
God,
the east.
man.
I've seen the
It's
pictures.
freaking amazing.
I saw it before.
Good Lord.
Before the whole renovation.
That's
years
not.
ago.
I mean, you walk into that. That's not even like I go. I was joking
It's like an
around.
art
I was
gallery,
like, yeah, it was like walking into an upscale like boutique or something.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like a apartment or something. It's super fancy, nice.
Yeah.
But definitely check out those guys. They're buddies. That's in an ad. They're just friends of the show and have been for.
Now-
God, I've known those guys for like 25 years now. 20 years now.
Now, we'll say the pain aspect is part of it, that it kind of not only bonds other people with tattoos that have tattoos because you went through the same experience, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was painful and
It kind of there's a little bit of your grit thing in there, or you're putting yourself and doing
Yeah.
things that you know are difficult because the payoff is going to be great. Like, I'm really jazzed
Yeah.
on how it's going to look, but the process of
said
getting
jazzed.
that look is not easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
And there's something more worthwhile to that. Like, I can't just go to Best Buy,
It's
pick
more- yeah.
the tattoo off the rack. I don't know why I said Best Buy.
if it was just some stick-on thing that somehow the ink absorbed into your skin permanently forever, you
Yeah.
know, then it's like less. I guess
There's an
it
exchange
knocks
of
it
energy
down.
too.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
there's talking. Like another thing I figured out yesterday.
I'm going to equate this to when people buy glasses for fashion.
Yes,
When
you're-
people like me who are blind, you don't deserve to wear those glasses.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
But-
talking about? The clear lenses for like glasses just for like because
Yes.
they look cool.
Okay, I've always not liked that.
Right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Butler does that.
Because I don't wanna. Who does that?
Butler.
Butler does that.
Butler doesn't need glasses. His wife
No,
makes him
those-
wear blue blocker glasses.
But that's
or-
not for fashion. He looks like Michael J. Fox's dad in Back to the Future when he puts them on.
Yeah.
He looks like a nerd, right?
I did tell him you could just make the setting on your phone or computer not. with
No,
the blue
she
light.
says it's better. This is better. Is he
I
here?
don't- Yeah,
I
it
think
was
he's on
very-
vacation.
He said, yes.
I'm here and I hear all of it.
It just like I guess there's no because your skin constantly sheds that you can't just on the top
Yeah, you got to
No.
get under
dye.
there.
Yeah, you'd
Yeah.
have to inject it under the skin.
You can't, but I will say that another thing I discovered yesterday was it was funny thinking about how much tattoo artists have to like. Well, they don't have to, but if you got somebody in there that wants to talk, and we did a mixture of both because at one point it hurt. It was hurting so bad that I was just like, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
What's like your
I'm gonna sit here.
barber?
I'm gonna sit here and breathe.
Grit your teeth.
I'm gonna sit here and breathe. But yeah, like so there. You know, you. I wonder how many people would be really good. Like tattoo artists, but hate people so much that they'll never be able to do it.
Yeah, but that's a lot of people. They
Probably
just
a
become
lot.
artists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
a lot of artists are kind of the introverts. They pull away, right?
Yeah. Well, there's an element of
Because you're expected to talk to the client, right, while you're tattooing them. Which again, I feel like we need to normalize not doing that. If you're at the salon, if you're getting a tattoo, you don't need to talk to me the whole time.
I think they know that because like we had moments where we would talk, and then there were complete silent moments that I didn't want to talk.
You know what's odd too and maybe this has changed. It's been a while since I got my last tattoo.
Oh,
but,
the chat room is mad because you have one dangly hair between your eyes.
Oh, okay.
If
Sorry.
you could fix that,
That's
please.
your little
Thank you.
antenna.
You could watch
Screw
Tom's
you, chat room.
dangling hair.
Oh man.
You could sit in the chat room and have Tom tell you to screw off. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live for all of your arguments.
You're out to get me. I'm surprised that there isn't more TVs hanging on the wall to watch TV while you get tattooed.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes they
Like,
don't want you. You need to be in a certain position.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm just thinking like the standard, like let's say most people
My dentist has that
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
ceiling
Yeah.
and
but
on the wall.
it's like most people will get one on their shoulder.
My dentist
or arm,
always
right?
kisses me.
That's weird.
So I would say the majority of tattoos are done with the person
just to make Butler
sitting up,
Yeah.
and it's just surprising they haven't adopted.
I'm
the
sorry,
TV.
but I will forever think it's funny that joke about like I wake up in the dentist chair, my pants are undone. I'm always gonna laugh about that. I'd be like, what happened?
I'll say, what is he doing? Like, you know,
know.
like there's nothing
Yeah.
really you could do.
Yeah. Joke's
Just
on
look
him,
at it,
right?
take a picture.
No,
I don't know.
Joke's on
I got
him.
worried about that when I had my wisdom teeth taken out.
For girls, it's different.
For girls, it's a
Yeah.
little bit different. But for boys, I feel like if you're in the dentist chair and you wake up and your pants are undone, there's only a couple scenarios, right? You could have gone to the bathroom and forgot to button them. That's the most tame. The hygienist could have had her way with you. That's fantastic
Well, she
if you're
can't really.
heterosexual. And then if the dentist, if he, had his way with you, well, it's unfortunate, but I was passed out. Not bad.
But you can't really have your way with you. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing's gonna happen while you're passed out. Anyway,
Well, I don't
They
know.
can take pictures.
Hey, if I'm
Yeah.
passed out, can I still be aroused?
I don't think so.
Look that up.
Because you need your brain to send the
I
message.
think mine-
I mean,
to-
you can when you're asleep.
I believe mine's subconscious. Because when I fall asleep, then why else would I wake up with a pee bone?
right?
I don't know. That's different.
know why I said P-bone.
I'm just assuming.
There is something called a death erection.
Yeah.
That's a
little
great
different.
band name.
Yeah.
My God, that's a
Yeah.
good band name. That might be the best band name.
Let's do some voicemail email.
All right. I got some brand new ACT emails that I pulled this morning. If you'd like to leave us one, get our app. That's the easiest way to leave us a voicemail message. Or you can call this number, 1-844-TOMNDAN. And just follow the prompts. You can leave a voicemail message like this. Angry end of the show, gentlemen.
Hey guys, this is BDM Josh in Avalon. Just listening to the most recent Friday Free Show, and Tom makes yet another comment about how the BDMs or the listeners don't listen to the end of the show. I think they were doing Dump 'em Out about something. It makes me feel like I'm the only person that listens to these shows in their entirety. Now, I don't listen to all of like ACT and stuff, but I listen to the Friday Free shows and the BDM shows and the OG recap sections in their entirety. But Tom, listen, man, I listen to the end, bro. I love you, bro. I listen to the end.
He's upset about it.
Told you.
It made you feel special, though, right? Like, oh, maybe I'm the one of the only ones, and
Or maybe he thinks
look what I did for you.
You are dismissing him and that he's a nothing because nobody listens to the end.
I like
As he
that. I
claimed.
like that you're assuming the role of the Madden brothers from Good Charlotte's father, in that you're mean to people, and then when they exceed expectations or get past
look what I
the
did for
trauma
you.
that you've given them,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, well, yes, I created you. I
look
made
at
you.
that, yeah. If I
Through
didn't-
trauma, I have created you.
If I didn't go to get a pack of cigarettes and never come back, you would have never been rock stars.
yeah.
You've just been boring, old, whatever.
Do you think Paris Hilton would even bat an eyelash at you had I not been deadbeat?
Nicole Richie.
Yeah. I mean,
No, I think he dated.
Did they?
Yeah. One time, I think they both had it all.
there could be a great probability that he's correct, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
your horrible,
terrible, but he
selfish
is right,
actions
yes.
may have,
I mean-
pushed these
Yes.
kids to, give them the anger inside, the trauma to do these
I
great
mean, you
things.
could
I
also
don't know.
make
You
it
love to give the abusers the
I mean,
accolades.
I don't know. I'm not giving them accolades. I'm just saying they're POSs that deserve all the bad things in life, but there's probably a good amount of truth.
Wait,
in
couldn't
it.
you also make an argument that their lives could have been better, just normal?
Could have been better if their dad stuck around.
Yeah.
If
Could have had an easier go at it.
Could have been normal.
Could have
I
got
mean,
famous sooner.
They wouldn't have. Well, no, I know they would have never been famous. I don't think so. I think when things are too cushy, you don't feel the need to escape. And if their dad
you know what
and
I
mom
learned
had-
this morning?
What's that?
Kid Rock was born into wealth. And that whole trailer park redneck
didn't know
thing is
that.
all a lie.
Really?
Yeah,
theory?
his dad
I
was a
didn't know
millionaire.
that.
Yeah.
His dad was a millionaire.
Look
did
it
he
up.
grow up as a millionaire?
Yes, look it up. Lived in a mansion with a gazebo.
That old lion rat nose. How did
Yeah.
that happen?
So that's what I'm saying. You can live cushy and still
How did he keep that
get
buried
famous.
for so long?
I don't
It
know.
was
The
pre-
persona looked
it-
like a rat face.
It was pre-internet. Like if
Yeah.
if he would have got famous
Early
10 years
90s.
later,
Oh,
like
man.
early 90s, you were just like, I'm not gonna look. Like, what are you gonna look at?
And now he's like
You
a
know?
country singer pretending like he had hard times. No, dude.
Went platinum 15 times.
Rich the whole time.
maybe it's just he, it's his it's all character. So he just found that character that resonated with angry white kids,
angry tall rat people with fedoras, the fedora rat people.
If Anna and Elsa's parents
it's Anna.
Oh, whatever.
Not Anna.
They hadn't have died in
Elsa.
that storm. Maybe they wouldn't have been.
No, they're Tarzan's dad. Everybody knows that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anna and Elsa's mom and dad didn't die in the storm. They actually wrecked onto an island. Had another son named Tarzan. Then they were killed by some crazy leopards or something, right?
Something.
And then, so Tarzan
is Anna and Elsa's brother, but they don't know that, and he doesn't know that.
Okay. Are they in the same universe?
Yes.
And the same, well, obviously.
Same timeline, yeah.
Tarzan is, what?
Well, he's in the big
20
city.
years younger.
He's in the big city now.
Yeah. So.
Learning to eat with a fork.
Does Elsa age with her ice powers?
Yeah, she does.
Okay. So
she ages rapidly.
There wouldn't be. I figured
she's already an old lady. They just don't tell you that. Anna, the swoop in the front, can never be reversed.
Is Pinocchio forever a boy now?
I don't think he ever was a boy, right?
Well, he's a wooden puppet first.
I thought they just kind of put Sculpey clay on him and smoothed him over and painted him up good.
Is he?
Did the Jiminy Cricket? Wait, no. Jiminy Cricket
is a magical cricket.
Is a magical cricket that talked to the wizard.
Could people see Dumbo talk? Or is there any?
No.
So it's all them talking to each other, and then the people see it as just them making noise.
It's supposed to be happening at all times. It's the Dr. Dolittle effect.
Yeah, because sometimes the animals talk, and then they could be heard by humans, but sometimes it's we're hearing them communicate, and they're just translating.
I hate that they blur that line too much. It's just like in Toy Story. Sometimes the toys can be heard. And then sometimes the toys. Well, no, in Toy Story they do it right. In Toy Story they can always be heard. That's why when they say
hide.
Andy's coming, that's why they all fall down.
Yeah.
But that one time where they scared the bully by talking to him and attacking him, so he wouldn't. Stop.
Bullies are notoriously dumb, so you're really gonna whack him out, right?
Well,
he'll freak out.
He will, but I feel like he'd freak out less.
And nobody
than a
would
smart
believe
person.
him if he told people that all these.
Because he's lied so many times before. The precedent's been set.
Yeah. And isn't will the toy, if you destroy the toy's head,
it's dead.
Then it has no more
toy
ability. I mean, can it still? But there's plenty of toys when he put them all together, they were still able to walk around.
Oh, you mean
toys?
You mean the mutant toys?
Yeah, the baby doll head on the spider.
Yeah, the head will still. I think it's fire. Really, didn't they? I mean, haven't they kind of alluded to fires?
Or smoosh it. You smoosh them in the trash compactor.
Right.
Well, in there. I heard that there's a whole internet story, what do they
conspiracy?
call it? No,
it's like a kind of like an internet conspiracy about that they've been dead the entire time and that they're trapped in hell.
Well, no, all the toys they end up in the garbage forever, eternity in the bottom of a landfill, trapped in there, still alive.
Man,
Well, that's how most toys end up, right?
Yeah.
But then it's is it all even if you took apart the entire toy, would its hand and its arm still be in some sort of magic?
Still work.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Got toy magic.
No, that's all I wanted to know.
You want to do one more?
Sure.
Okay. I'll do one more.
Hello, Tom and Dan crew. I just saw that Mountain Dew is coming out with Mountain Dew Hard.
Don't say it like
regular
that.
flavor and a couple others, and they're 9% alcohol. So
6%.
Oh boy!
It's actually called Mountain Dew Hard, which is a fantastic name.
Hard.
Well, that's why I'm going to say it. I'm going to be Mountain Dew Hard.
It's pretty interesting that they even. It's the first time I've ever heard of a soda company dabbling in any.
It's
sort of
very
alcohol.
Mountain Dew, though, right? It's very Mountain Dew because they always jump on trends. Like gamers, they'll be like Mountain Dew, we're game fuel.
But it has.
I'm telling you, I found the sparkling ice waters. They have a seltzer. I only found it in St. Augustine at that Publix. I haven't found it anywhere else.
Winn-Dixie?
No, we went to the Publix.
That Publix is good too.
And I have not found it anywhere else, but it is goddamn delicious, and it has caffeine in it.
St. Augustine is a test market for a lot of strange products. It's very odd.
Has there ever been like Pepsi or Coke that ever partnered with any adult beverage?
Because
I can't remember any flavor of-
Coca-Cola maybe has partnered with a Seagram's or a Bacardi at some point.
I'm just guessing. I can't remember a time where I saw like some sort of Pepsi or Coke product flavor used in a corporate thing. You know, obviously Jack and Coke has been a thing, but like I've never even heard of them partner.
I'll give you a for instance that burned real hot before White Claw did. Do you guys remember what alcohol trend burned so hot? And then White Claw was the grunge that stomped out heavy metal music. White Claw stomped out Not Your Dad's root beer. Remember all the hard root beers and
hard lemonades?
Yeah,
and stuff,
no, it was more like hard cream soda, hard orange soda, hard root beer. Those are
Does Topo Chico count?
Yeah, that they are a Coca-Cola product.
So that kind of counts,
well,
right?
not now with seltzers. I'm saying pre-seltzers, like that's.
You may be right, but I would like to think that Coca-Cola. I mean, Jack and Coke, right?
But that's what I'm thinking is like you would assume that they would have partnered back in the day to create a product that was like a Jack and Coke.
Coca-Cola in 2018 launched its first alcoholic drink in history with a canned liquor product in Japan.
Whoa, Japan? Huh. Mm-hmm. What was it called?
The drinks giant will experiment with a canned beverage called Chuhi, made up of distilled Japanese
that's what we had.
drink.
Chuhai.
Yeah.
Chuhi?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the drink we've had. We've had Chuhai. Yep. That's great. It's great. It'll mess you up. Remember that was that 9% Japanese soda we used to drink on the show.
Oh, okay.
We drank them in here.
It tastes like a sun-kissed.
Yeah,
but,
that stuff's... I had to swear that off.
So that was the first one.
Well, it's good. They did a nice job with it. It'll mess you up.
Now, that was in Japan with a flavor that we're not even, I'm saying like
traditional American company flavor.
Yeah, that's maybe they were that was their test market,
right?
And then it led into the popularity of seltzers.
I'm surprised those didn't take off here because they were good.
Well, they did take off here in the form of Not Your Daddy's root beers and sodas, and I think it's the same thing.
Sounded like you said Nacho Daddy, and we just had Meat Daddy on earlier.
There used to be a Mexican restaurant here in town called Nacho Mama's, and it wasn't there very long, I don't believe.
I think it just, with the popularity of the seltzers, all the sugar, people don't want the extra sugar. So you don't want the sugary root beer or orange soda with alcohol on top of that. It's like people, if you're going to have the sugar and the alcohol, just do all the non-sugar flavorings.
Yeah, but there is a sweet spot because, man, my favorite White Claw beverage is gone. I love the White Claw 70s. And I think they have been phased out.
They just had less alcohol, though.
Yeah, but that was what I wanted. I wanted just a little alcohol so I could drink 1,000 White Claw 70s.
Yeah.
Eke it out through the day. You want to keep moving?
Yeah.
Let's try this one. Another hot topic. This is the new sit-stand debate.
Hey, Sam, Tom, Dan, Butler. It's Chris Strema here. I was just calling to reference back to, we were discussing hair gel, dry versus wet. Mm-hmm. And I said I was a dryman, but I tried it.
It's not dryman.
It's wet boy, dry boy.
No, dry guy.
Oh.
It's dry guy or wet boy.
Okay, sorry.
Dry guy or wet boy, Chris Strema. You got it wrong.
It's wet. And I said I was a dryman, but I tried it with the wet. And I styled it, like, just in a bun, so that when I took it down, it would be, like, wavy. And Samantha, it works. I liked it. So I think I'm wet and dry. Also, P.S., I'm getting ready to move, so all I'm doing is packing all day. Yeah, I'm pretty bored. Anyway, love you guys.
P.S., you're bored? That was your P.S.? By the way, P.S., I'm bored?
Yeah, we don't need to know that.
And you can't be both. Chris Strema, I love you, but you can't be both. You
can't dabble in both?
No, you're either a dry guy or a wet boy.
You can be neither.
You can be neither.
Like our next guest, Seth Petrozelli.
No hair.
Is he coming in?
Yeah.
Come in here, Seth. He can come in.
To go poop our bathroom.
Do you want to take a break and come back?
Yeah. Let's take a break. We'll be back with Seth, and he wants to buy a boat. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
Seth Petrozelli is here.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing, Seth?
I'm good. I just ate that damn microphone.
Gross.
It doesn't look like you guys have cleaned this in a while either.
Busey was sitting there.
Yeah.
You probably
It's like
are
a-
sick now.
It's like a poodle side on this thing.
Was there hair on there?
Hair everywhere. It's white now, not black.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't. Sorry about that.
So
So what's going on? Like, why is Seth here?
well,
Yeah.
there's a
Why am I
couple
here?
reasons.
That's the
One,
question every time I walk into the door.
he wasn't here last Friday because he woke up with allergies. He thought he had corona and then freaked out.
That's what everybody does, right?
Yeah, it seems like
So
that's
he's
the
canceling
thing.
us twice in 2 weeks.
By the way, I got another test. What's today? Wednesday? Monday morning.
Wow.
Rapid. It was negative again.
Just to double check. Well, you were worried.
My primary care, this is awesome of him. I had no idea. He does it every single day. He has a nurse out there for 2 hours in the morning, every single morning, for any of his patients that want to go get tested instead of waiting on all these bull crap lines that everyone has to wait.
Oh,
No.
wow.
Just
There
pull
you go.
right up and it's like, she's like, hey, Seth. I'm like, hey. They're like, another COVID?
How
I'm like,
many,
yep.
Marsha.
how many tests did DeSantis give your doctor?
Yeah, you're like, give me 4.
Yeah.
Not that people shouldn't be cautious, but how many times do you think like the overly cautious get
Are
tested?
wasting tests
Yeah,
where nobody else
wasting-
can find them?
are wasting tests over every single. They're like, oh my god! Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's that? Like, you know, they
That's
feel
you every
That
5
kinda-
minutes.
Yeah, oh, my
Kinda
God.
sounds like when I do that. I'm
Yeah,
feeling
well,
that scratch
I
my-
wake up every morning with a runny nose. Every morning. And a fever. No.
I can't taste my breakfast.
No, seriously, I do wake up every morning with a runny nose because I have allergies and they're never going to go away. And
Yeah.
I do flow nose. And then I take my shower. I was telling you this. And then I take my Zytec or whatever.
Zyrtec, yeah.
Zyrtec, thank you. I don't know what it is.
Wait,
and
you
it-
take the nasal stuff before you shower? You do that after?
No, I do it before I get in there. I just look. It's just the way I do things. I'm not
Dude,
saying
then
it's
in the
right.
shower, it runs and you blow your
Yeah,
nose in
yeah,
the
yeah.
shower.
Look.
It gets it all out. It's,
Look, one of us has COVID. It's not me. All I'm saying is,
I-
one of us thinks we have COVID.
you-
I don't think I have it.
Do you think
I'm
there's
very safe.
a person out there that takes a COVID test every day?
Yes.
I bet you
Yes.
does.
Yes.
Like some
Yes.
insane person that's in their house hasn't
Yes.
even left their house, by the
Yes.
way. They have no
Yeah, 'cause
interaction
this
with
is
anybody.
really scary to people, man.
And they take a COVID test. Well, that's irrational. You're
It is.
behaving. You're wasting your money.
Yes.
You can do what you
somebody
want.
could walk by your air conditioning unit, cough in it, it's sucking in the outside, blow it inside your house.
Or if you
That's
get
how
your
it happens.
groceries delivered, people are still wiping them down.
If I had the
thinking
ability
they
to
can
get,
get
to,
them from
to
that.
stick something in my nose every day and just tell me, I would 100%.
Maybe
do it.
I saw a Meemaw walk onto a plane one
Oh.
time wearing what I thought was some sort of traditional terrorist garb, and I broke into tears.
Dude, I heard from our
Right?
our trainer Michael. He told me about like he reads all the local or like all the health technology stuff that's coming out or whatever. He said they're designing and it's in the testing phases right now. Basically, a microchip that hooks up to your iPhone, to your smartphone or whatever, and it basically tests your blood. For basic small things, you know, like kind of what's similar to your yearly blood test or just tests all your major stuff.
Yeah.
And you can have real time on your phone.
It's almost like your idea of the.
Butler's
Yeah,
shaking
yeah.
his head. No, we got people in the chat saying that's not true.
No,
no,
well,
I
he
don't know.
told-
There's
I
a
don't
crazy
know.
technology
I mean,
coming
I
out.
didn't research it. I'm just saying what this is hearsay.
I read last week.
It
that-
made
This
sense.
is how rumors get
There's
spread.
another technology. Pardon me. With that's it. That's-
Are they saying that there's no that doesn't exist?
I thought he told me the same story.
I have no
so
idea.
I was like, oh yeah, that sounds real. And we have the same guy we go to, but I do know that there is a new thing that they invented for men as far as reproductive health, where there are metallic nanoparticles that they can inject into your bloodstream that will collect near your, I guess, down there, near your boys, near your scrotum.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And because they're metallic, they'll fuse that area, and then they can, because they all go to that area, they're attracted, they can use series of magnets to move them through your body, right?
What?
So they use the magnet to move these metal nanoparticles down near your testes, and then they all collect in the tubes, making you infertile. And then like through the magnets, then your wife wouldn't have to take birth control.
I have a
right?
lot of questions. How long does that last?
Do you shoot the
do
particles out?
they use the magnets on you, or do you do that at your house yourself?
I think it was in the beginning stages, but I guess what they would want to do is, of course, doctors would be the ones controlling the magnets, and they'd be using the
much
nanoparticles.
trouble. Just take a pill, women, and maybe.
But a lot of women can't take that because it kills them.
Yeah.
They get
blood clots.
Yeah, it's just. I just thought it was
risk
interesting.
There's risk and reward.
I just thought it was interesting because this came out.
Probably not that much of a reward.
Here's why I'm even telling you guys the story. In a day and age when everybody's talking about like I ain't getting the vaccine, them nanoparticles are getting empty. Like, they are really using nanoparticles, but for good stuff, not to control you. And take your brains.
But I'm with Seth. That does seem like a lot of nanoparticles and magnets. I'm putting the magnets on. I'm thinking of the big horseshoe.
I got a piece of copper in me right now.
The cartoon one.
You got
like from Roger Rabbit.
You've got copper in you?
Yeah.
No wonder homeless people chase you down the street.
You have copper in what?
Inside of me, so that I don't get pregnant.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
I don't know.
You
but
know what
it's
I
in there,
envision?
buddy.
Every time a woman says that, they make a joke, and Sam's done it a couple of times. They'll say, "I got copper in me." I envision a still making like moonshine with a wire. Like that's what I envision in my
There's
brain.
wires involved.
Anytime I hear like how things work, like uterine mesh and
You're
then,
doing the miracles, ICP miracles.
I'm like, it sounds crazy that works. Like, but there it is. Yeah, but it's just
It does sound okay.
It blows my mind every time. I'm like, really? That's how we're like the what is it? I almost got the IED. Is it?
IUD.
IED.
That's what I have. Yeah.
You don't have an IED.
IUD.
And when
You got that IED, P.
And it's made out of copper.
Yes.
That's the whole point.
Someone explained how
Well,
it
mine
works
is,
one
not
time,
all of them are.
and I'm like, really? What?
Yeah, my wife
Won't
tried to
that
explain.
rust?
No,
No.
copper's non-corrosive.
I don't know.
It
I don't know
bounces
anything about
around. It's
Metal,
like,
metallurgy.
do you know how it
And
works?
it's a little T. It's little.
Little T. Hey,
How
dog,
does it
it's
work?
me, Little T.
No. No
I
idea.
tried to
Don't know the
I tried to
science.
ran that tea out.
I
every
want to
time.
play the mascot for a commercial for these where I play one of these in a costume, and I'm known as Little T. Hi, I'm Little T, and I'm inside you right
Hold
now.
on. Do you really not know how it works?
No. I mean, they told me, but I don't know the medical jargon.
Well, it's weird.
I'm just like, I'm not going to get pregnant, right?
I
All right,
bet-
cool.
yeah,
It's
that's
weird.
what I would have done.
Well, for a person that, just overly cautious.
It's
let's say.
irrational paranoia, Tom. You know this.
And then it's like, I'm not going to those woods. Bring your gun. They're going to kill us. I just thought you'd have a better understanding
Well,
about some.
I've done the research to see that there's less than a 1% chance of me getting pregnant with this. So I was like, I'll take my chances
Yeah.
with this.
That's
And
not
it's the
bad.
most, I've gone through so many other different birth controls that all had terrible side effects. And this I've had none.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think I'm good.
Does Butler know how it works? Something tells me he knows how it works.
He still wears condoms.
Butler.
Oh, God, that is so embarrassing.
Every time Butler tells us something, and this happened right before we
Yesterday,
left
too.
yesterday.
I use Butler to vet all of your lies.
Oof.
When Daniel went to go get his tattoo, so it was just me, Samantha, Butler. We had a small merch brainstorming.
Did you know when I got in my car, I immediately sat down and said, I wonder what Butler's telling him right now. Seriously, as I was driving to get my tattoo done.
And so we did that. It was successful. We got some other stuff, and then we were like, all right, let's call it a day. Let's get out of here. Then what did Butler start telling us? Because he does this all the time where he tells us this thing as if he knows it's fact, all right? He tells it so confidently that it sounds like someone that knows for sure what he's talking about, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like it comes out with confidence,
Yeah,
and he's like very.
That's what psychopaths do.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we
Bill
sit-
Gates and Dan Bilzerian's banana farm caught on fire this morning. You'll read about it.
me and Samantha, we give it like 2 beats of silence like, after he's done explaining,
And then
and then he's like, I just made that up.
Yeah, he tells on himself. He tells on himself.
We're like, all right.
That's so awesome.
Well, then why the hell did you tell us some garbage that you just made up? You just told us your dream or something. You wasted our time. We sat and listened to you.
He likes telling stories.
You told
he's
us
a storyteller.
confidently, but it wasn't for entertainment. I like listening to stories for
It's
entertainment.
for
No,
him. It's entertainment for him because he like.
no,
jumps-
he was telling us something.
What
a
was he
fact.
saying?
I can't remember.
He
because-
was saying that we have too much light basically going into the tank, and then that causes the algae.
Yeah, the algae. The
he
algae.
was doing. Yeah, he was
yeah.
doing what
He
little.
wants to see what it feels like to feel really, really smart, even though he's not really.
Yeah,
he wants to know what
he
it's like
likes
to
to
be
weigh
really
in
smart.
on things.
But the one
You are smart. I'm just joking, but not really.
Boyfriend
smart.
fight.
Oh, by the way,
Please flick me off.
Seth telling you that it means nothing.
That's true.
Blindly
Like
in the-
Stevie Wonder telling you you're handsome.
Hey, he does that actually.
Yeah, I know, but he's effing with you because
Or he's not blind.
you see, like light. He don't know if you're handsome or not. Anyway,
Speaking of not enough light coming in.
Butler was out. We were like, "Why is there algae growth on her?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's
Oh, yeah,
because
we definitely got too much light coming
he
in.
says
there.
these lights. We
And then Tom's like, "Well, we've had it here for over a year,
No,
and
he does
like,
it with
you didn't
the
do that in the beginning."
He does it with that swagger of people. He does it like remember Putty from Seinfeld?
Yes.
He does it with that swagger of confidence, where he's like, "Oh yeah, we definitely got too much light coming in
Yeah.
here right now, and I don't even get me started on the TV. If you guys are turning the TV on, because that'll definitely cause the algae as well. Definitely it gets too much light." He's like, he goes into
Yeah.
that like kind of that like ultimate confidence.
Yeah. It's like politicians do, where you're like, they're so confident you believe them. You're like, this guy is so confident. Who's that confident and doesn't know what they're talking about? Is Butler. There's a lot of people. Because if you talk to a super genius scientist, they'll never tell you definitively anything.
They're not certain.
They don't work in certainties.
You know, because they're like,
life isn't-
well, it's
Statistically,
statistically, it's a high, but I guess
high
there's
probability of this.
Yeah, and it's never satisfying because you're just like, oh, okay, you don't really, like go talk to your doctor and ask him what, like, you guys know. They'll tell you like, well, it could be this. They'll list cancer in there, but it's like because they'll list it in there because there is a probability, even though it's small, that it's that. But
There's
like,
some cancer.
but he's also he's never going to tell you any definitive anything because most things in science are never 100%. And that's something that
I still want to know how these things work.
what
Magnets.
IUD.
IUD.
They interfere with the ability of sperm cells to reach and fertilize an egg. IUDs impair the sperm cells and the fertilization process in different ways, depending on the type of IUD you have.
Impairs them.
Yeah. Gets them wasted. Some types of IUDs release hormones, and other types of IUDs are made of copper, which releases copper ions to prevent pregnancy.
Copper ions.
It's like the copper bracelets you wear to help make your elbow feel better.
Yeah.
It's the
That's
same
bullshit
technology.
magic. That's
Hey,
magic.
we are on the radio. You can't see that. We gotta take a break anyway.
All right.
You guys got to remind me of these things sometimes because I'm not smart. You just got done telling me I
Butler, get in
wasn't
here.
smart.
Tell Seth he's smart. All right. Bye-bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, Samantha, and Butler are here, and our very good friend, Mr. Seth Petrozelli, is here today. What's up, Seth?
I'm looking at the picture of Tom peed his pants. That's a lot of pee, man.
No, that was the water I used to clean off the tiny drop, or not tiny.
That's what I always say when I come back from the sink. I'm always like, oh, no, I cleaned
Yeah,
it.
he
There's
had
a lot.
one
I do
drop.
that sometimes to
He had
make
one
an
drop of
excuse for
pee. In
myself.
No, it
order to
wasn't-
clean the one drop of pee, he just put a gallon of water on it. Yeah.
It was not one drop. It was a lot. It was enough where
It was a shot glass
I
full.
started to clean it with water, and then I've made it worse. I'm like, I'm going home. It was like,
He did.
I'm going home.
He had to go home.
it was our lunch break. I was like, I'm just gonna run home, change my shorts. Okay.
Did you say anything to your wife?
hair
Did you
dryer
tell
works
her?
really
Did your
good.
sons go, why'd you pee your pants?
No, they're in school. But I did tell my wife, and she was very disappointed. And she's like, "Did your employees see?" I'm like, "Yes, they videotaped it.
Did they see?
They put it on the internet."
They
Both-
believe it.
yeah, she's like,
Not
"You're
only
weak."
did they see it, you're weak, you're spineless.
Yeah, like, here's your spoon. Take it back to work.
A hair
man.
dryer takes it out like really, really fast, but you have to put the tip of the hair dryer like on the shorts, and it like you could see it just go away. I've done that a few times in the bathroom to hide it.
Yeah, well, guess what? Everybody be like, "Why'd you turn your hair dryer?" Like,
Yeah, why are you using a hair
Well,
dryer?
for
We
you,
don't
you
have
have
a
an
hair dryer
excuse. For
here.
me,
I know what you're doing in there. You're hair drying your pee pants.
and I didn't have to go home, but I knew Butler was going to ask what happened. He was
Well, you
already
yelled it out.
Yeah.
We knew what happened.
Yeah,
you
he
didn't even
was-
have to tell us.
You're like, I pee my pants.
Well, I had to yell it out because for sure Butler would have been like,
then
"What's that big
Butler
wet
is-
spot?"
The Butler was getting his
You know,
phone
he's
out to
an idiot.
film it on TikTok. He's doing that move where you get your phone out and he was like, "What did you say? You peed what?" And he's like reaching around the
It was,
corner.
out,
of the video.
it was because it was the outside. It was turned sideways. I didn't see, and then
Turn
it started-
sideways.
it was a
You
sideways
got
pee.
enough
Yeah.
to turn sideways? Good Lord, man.
Well,
Well
it was
done.
stuck. I don't know. It's just the whole thing.
Do you unbutton the top and unzip and then unfold and then pull your underwear down, or do you go through, or do you go
No, no,
over
yeah,
the lip?
I don't know
I
any
go-
way that goes through.
Over the lip? What are
I
you,
go,
6?
No, I go over the top.
No, you can't go over the top. Bad movie and what 6-year-olds do with their penis in the
Wow.
nose.
I don't go
Sometimes-
through the
no.
the
The
boxer
zipper?
hole.
No, you undo your pants and you can go over the top that way, but you go over the top of your shorts?
no.
That's
no,
a baby's
no,
dick.
no. I unzip. I unzip.
Oh,
and
okay,
then
all right.
my
Then over the
shorts-
waistband.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
sometimes-
I
thought
go
he
over the
was
top
doing
of my
little
shorts.
kids, he pulls them
No,
all the way down to his ankles.
I
and just
couldn't even
stands there.
do that.
There's a trick you can do it with no hands. If you undo it, you take your underwear and you tuck it behind your balls. It keeps it secure.
Yeah, it does.
yeah.
I do that one too.
Secures it. Then
But
you can no hand.
Yeah, then you can put your hands up.
but I
Hands
feel
up, don't shoot.
the pressure.
I pick my noses out.
I have enough problems with pressure to begin with. I don't need to add like.
No, you gotta get
like,
it in the bowl. You gotta lean in. You gotta do one of these where you're like.
I don't want to step on the hose, if you know what I mean.
It's like this.
No, it's under the hose.
I know, but there's still the hose under there that like it goes from the
Might help push it out.
to the top. I don't know how
yeah,
it works.
that's a design flaw. Hose should have been on the top.
Yeah. Is there anyway? All right, we don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, that's not what we were talking about.
So Seth texted me the other day, and
you peeing your pants, bro?
No, I sent him a picture of me pissing my pants.
he texted me and he said, "I want to buy a boat." Right, so I'm like, yes, because I get super excited about other people's horrible mistakes.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
And because I've gone through it, any mistake I've made, I get excited when someone is about to make it.
Right.
I don't warn them.
Now, you
Really,
ever
I
had
get
a-
excited because they're not going to listen to me for sure.
No, nobody does.
'Cause
Have you had a boat before?
I grew up not my own boat, but I grew up on a canal in Cape Coral, like on
you
the,
grew
on the
up
water
on
my
a-
entire
oh my
life.
God.
So, okay, this is what I wanted to talk about.
You're like one of those guys on Deadliest Catch.
The boat sunk, but
No, you grew up in Florida, and your old man had a boat. He took you out a couple times. Like
a lot of times we went out literally like a lot. I know the whole how to navigate the waterway back there and everything.
So
That sounded convincing.
I know
How
how,
old
to
were
navigate
you?
the waterways back there and everything.
there's a lot to talk about and to examine in this.
Okay.
And we got time. So I started thinking about this because I had the dream of owning a boat.
You
right?
did.
Ever since I became an adult.
Yep.
And my wife was in on that dream because she too grew up with her dad taking her out on boats.
Yeah.
Like
You
we
guys
both
are
grew
a
up in
boat-
Miami.
Rich boat
family.
people.
It's not really rich. You don't have to be rich
No, I'm
to
telling
buy
you,
a boat.
my boat's crap and it's sunk,
Rich
too.
to me.
Yeah. Jessica's got a boat.
I
She
know.
may be rich,
Yeah.
but I don't know that.
I mean,
It's
all,
hood rich.
all of
I
our.
mean, if you
gonna-
asked her,
I'm gonna-
someone probably wouldn't. She wouldn't say, "I'm rich. I buy a boat." I got a boat.
It was a thing. I mean, if you're Florida
It's a
people,
luxury.
you have a lot more.
It
It is, but like in DeLand, everybody had a boat. The Ku Klux Klan was in the boat parade, for Christ's sake. They
Well,
weren't
they
all
got
rich.
money.
Well,
They
they're on the
weren't
payroll.
all- They weren't all rich.
But it's like saying if you have a sports car, you're rich, but your sports car is like
That's all your money
Easy.
went into.
No,
Yes.
I'm saying no,
Like
I feel a dick
motorcycles
coming
and-
right now.
No, but I'm not thinking of, like because they make sports cars like just certain categories of. A Mazda Miata is considered a sports car, right?
It
Like,
is,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like there are
it could be considered-
cheapo,
yes.
so you can have a John boat with a old 90 horsepower Johnson on it, or you know what I'm saying, and it could be $1,200 that you bought or whatever, and you're still out on the boat, Disappearing Island, next to the $2 million yacht. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing the same thing the rich people are doing, but not in a rich way.
Nah.
Anyway, so I started looking of like, why is it that people are so compelled to buy boats? Because 90% of the time, and there's the reason cliches exist, and everybody's like gives you the advice like, oh, the best day of your life and the worst day or whatever. It's like when you buy a boat, when
you sell your boat.
And you sell your boat.
That's your best and your worst day.
But opposite, it's the old, this is just going to be a money trap. You're never going to use it. Like people tell you all these things, but no matter what they tell you, and I'm in the same boat as
same boat.
And I don't care. My dream is to have this boat because I want to be on the water.
Okay.
And it has to be nostalgic. Because Seth
for me, it definitely is.
I put it in the same category as why Samantha loves the park so much. Like something during her childhood, like that was a happy time or whatever. Like,
well, why do I want to live under an overpass?
Well, wires get crossed. Sometimes there's
maybe because you were an only child and you were comfortable with that.
Okay,
so you like to go back to just being in solitude with yourself.
All right.
But
I'll take that.
I don't know. That's my theory.
Not as cool as what you guys got about theme parks and boats, but I'll take it.
No, it's all right. You like RVing because you grew up,
RVing.
and you would like to eventually.
There is. Okay, yeah, I'll give you a perfect example.
Yeah, it's nostalgic.
There is a smell of campers. Like a lot of people know what it is. Some people don't like it. A musty thing, whatever you want to call it. For whatever reason, if I smell it, it might as well be cologne. It makes me happy. Like I smell it, and I go right back to playing Uno with my mom and dad at the beach, surfing all the time, grilling out.
Smells are the most strongest recaller of like memories. And stuff like that.
But RVing, good example.
So I think and now this, it may be subjective to each person, and maybe there are a lot of people that always wanted to buy boats that didn't grow up boating. But I would guess that the majority of people that are driven to buy a boat, especially when they may not use it every single weekend or whatever, it's like, but you want that feeling, that nostalgic
I think having
pleasure
a boat,
of being on the water that you had when you were a kid.
Do you get this out of your boat? Because there's something about you even having a boat, just the act of owning it feels to me like there's a jealousy I have where I'm like, well, I'm not quite as free as he is because he can just go and on the water. You know what I mean? There's like a freedom of knowing you have an option on the water that's yours. I don't know. There's something cool about that.
Every time I'm on my boat with my family, I am happy.
Oh, I can see it. I saw the pictures of you with Daisy,
happy.
And it was like, it looked like you better than ever.
Driving my boat with my family on there, it makes me happy because that's what I'm chasing from my childhood when my dad took me out on the boat or whatever.
That's cool.
Oh, I was gonna be alone, contemplating my life. To be honest.
So
I was gonna drive off in the sunset.
Are you buying a boat to commit suicide?
So
there's cheaper ways, man.
Okay.
Now there are a variety of boat owners, right? And let's go through them.
Mild to wild.
There's the boat owner that literally lives on a canal that goes out to the ocean that fishes all the time.
Yeah.
He's
the lifer.
He's using his boat so much where he's getting the money out of it,
right?
Using it enough where he's putting enough hours on the motor to get 2 oil changes a year or
Correct.
whatever. This is almost a daily driver for him, right? Then that's the one end of the spectrum, right? Then it goes all the way down to the guy who never uses his boat once a year or just sits in storage and has been years or whatever.
Yeah, I've had some guys that I know that have bought brand new boats, used them for one summer, and that was it.
Yeah.
And they still have it.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just they just have a lot. Most of those people are a little above average money wise, and they just don't care.
You see the amount of you go to the boat storage place or marinas and see the racks of boats or how many boats are parked in the parking lot.
It's a bummer.
And wonder if they all had expressions, all the boats, if they've been used or not. Most of them are like, they're just sitting there so sad they don't fulfill their destiny in the water.
It's like the Planet Fitness model. If everybody who had a subscription started working out that day, they would no machines. It would be a line out the door.
A line out the door.
They prey on the fact that you're not going to work out. You want to.
Chat room wants to weigh in for lake people. They say they're not represented. That you never represent lake people that are out on the boat every day.
Yeah. Lake people.
Yeah. We'll throw you in there.
What I mean is that you live on the water.
You're lifers.
And you've got a boat dock and stuff, and there's or you're so close you get, because
convenience.
Storing your boat and then trailering it to the boat ramp. It's a thing,
If any of those people out there have a boat ramp and they don't have a boat, I'll buy a boat. If I can keep it there, you can use my boat at that boat ramp. Just let me use it whenever I want.
Really?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm putting that out there for anybody that has
a
boat ramp or a dock that's on the water.
there are boat shares and things like that. Although here's the
Dock
problem.
share?
Like, I think there may be. Well, I bet you we're getting close to dock share. If
I
it's
think
not,
I've heard that before, man.
Yeah. I think you could use other people's docks.
Or
like,
didn't we had that guy that called in? Remember that said that he has a boat and they couldn't get to it. They just used the dock. And he couldn't get his boat in there, or couldn't get his boat out that day, one day.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking something different, but that sounds very familiar.
I bet you it exists.
Yep,
Like,
it does. Pier share.
Okay, yeah.
That's cool.
Boat docks, marina slips, lifts, and moorings.
Yeah.
And you just rent it out.
Guess I should just Google stuff.
Very cool. Yeah, Google works.
I was Googling boats. I wasn't even looking at anything else.
Well,
I was
how
just
did you?
Googling
So
boats.
this is just like, were you just sitting on the couch one day and you're like,
I looked at my bank account and I'm like, what am I doing with this? And I just said, I'm
I'm gonna waste some money.
No, honestly, I don't know. You know what? I don't know because I'm doing a lot of stuff with my house. Like I'm getting all these crazy expensive.
What are you
lights
running
put
away
in.
from?
I'm putting brand new pavers in. They're not even that old in my house. I'm putting brand new pavers in my house. I'm just doing shit. I don't know.
Stop saying curse words, please.
Damn it.
So
I'm just doing crap.
Well, you're spending your money. You got to.
That's why you
because-
work.
I don't have kids. I don't. I mean,
enhance your life.
It's making me happy.
Why don't you adopt a kid?
No.
What about Javier, your assistant?
He's 18 now.
You can still adopt him.
No,
Wait,
I don't know if
what?
that's a thing.
So Seth,
Wait a minute. You had an under 18 assistant?
Yeah, he's a 17-year-old boy. That's his assistant.
Yeah,
when he was
talk to
talking
him.
crap about Tom's.
Oh, that kid.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
so
Just not around my house.
I was like, is this child labor? What's happening?
Seth, when's
It was for about 6 months.
when's the last time you operated a vessel?
Okay, about a year and a half ago, we went out. Me and my sister and her husband went out on the boat, and I held the wheel as he was doing the throttle. No, I actually drove it. I drove the boat.
I held the wheel
not the
as
whole
he
time.
did the
Not the whole
throttle.
time. But we went back.
He did
back
what
and
I
forth.
let my sons do. Is if we're going straight in a lake, I let them steer the boat.
You sat on your uncle's lap. All right, great.
No,
Great. At 40 years old, you sat on your sister husband's lap and steered the boat.
I've taken boats off trail. Like I've had 2 wave runners that I've backed.
No, jet skis, no.
But I at least had the trailer. I backed the trailer in, got off out of my car, took them out.
What happened with those wave runners?
I got motion sickness and I sold them.
And you want to get a boat?
But boats are different because wave runners, it's like on the spot turning and it makes me really, really bad. And I got it and I started driving it.
A case of spin.
I was like, damn it, I got these and I can't use them now. So, but the boat, I've been on a boat a few times and it's not like you're not pinpoint turning. And stuff
It's like
that.
an
It's not
old
really
man's jet ski.
So
Boats.
you sent me some boats you want to buy,
Yep.
and they're similar. As what's interesting is it's similar to my boat.
Well, you guys are similar in all aspects of your life.
Is a hurricane deck
Same
boat.
taste in women.
And
Oh my God.
so and the boats you've been sending me, like they're big boats. Like this is not just a tiny.
How big
See,
are we
when I
talking?
think 20 feet, I'm like, okay, that's me laid
20
out
feet.
about-
No, but the first boat you sent me
was
was 26.
Yeah, well,
it
yeah,
was
that one's sold.
That's a big boat.
It was my version.
Yeah.
It was like a 26. Like you seen my
Well,
boat.
it's got to be bigger than his.
Well, I mean,
We can't get something smaller
But
than-
he had a reasonably a compact boat for like 15 years that he used.
for those, and I was telling
Yeah,
Seth,
he
I was
learned
like,
a lot from
you get a big
lot of
ass
boating.
big ass boat, and it limits where you could take it. Like now, you said you want to take it to the Conway chain, which you can take it there, but like trailering
Bigger
like
boats harder.
25-foot boat, like especially a hurricane deck boat. It's like it's wide and big. And a lot of the lake ramps, they're small. They're meant
They're
for
narrow.
tiny lake boats. I suggested that you go smaller and get like a 18-foot, little
No, you don't want that.
a
Yeah,
bow
that's
rider
my cars.
ski
I want to
boat.
go bigger. I
Well, then
always
why
like that.
not?
I want to get some.
What are you gonna
Because I want to have
use
the
it for?
I want to have the option if I want to go into St. Pete or go into New Smyrna and going out in the ocean. And I think a little boat will be a little more.
Well, do you want to
risky,
go
scary.
out into the ocean, or do you want to stay in the intercoastal? Because
Oh, okay, intercoast. Yeah, I'm not gonna go there.
You-
If I don't see
that's
land,
just
I
a-
get scared.
That's just a
Yeah,
river.
well, I don't think you want a boat then, right? Like
I used to take my
Probably not.
scared.
old 18-foot bow rider mildew boat up to the St. Augustine.
That's what I'm saying. Like he did a lot with a tiny boat. You can do a lot with a tiny boat.
Yeah, but it's.
And then with the
I always
ti-
see the big boats passing you by, and you're like, mother.
Oh, so you want? So it's an ego thing. Okay. All right, hold on.
A
Well, we
little,
need to
a
get
little
this-
bit.
Well, get a
Just a
cigarette
little
Yeah.
Oh no, I saw a couple of those, and
Why don't
it was
you
at the
just go
same
for
price.
that?
I was like really close to getting a big cigarette boat
Well,
because you
just
can't fit people on it. I want actually have people on
But
it.
you don't
to
have any
enjoy-
friends, you don't have any kids, you have a family, you have a wife. I would get a speedboat.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just like, make yourself happy. Get the speedboat.
So
I'm just gonna go fast into my car, I guess. I mean,
it's what you do now, right?
Yeah.
what do you want to do with this boat?
Great question.
Like, because here's like what most people don't think. They envision the fantasy of like being in the ocean, driving. I don't know. They're
Yeah,
thinking
they're
of,
turned
like,
down for what? You know,
they're like their fantasy is way different than the reality
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like where you can go, what you can do. Are you
Are you pulling this with the tampon car?
No, I got my Scout that's being built, so that's gonna have a trailer.
I asked the same question because a lot of people don't think about pulling the boat. But
Oh, yeah.
it's like
dude, don't pull that boat with a classic vehicle. I mean, you can totally do that.
Oh no,
but
it's getting all redone. I mean,
there
there's
is-
brand new
gotta-
engine.
Nah, I'd buy just a
You want the
simple-
grift truck?
Oh, the grip
yeah.
truck. That's what I was thinking.
There's
Grip
two-
truck.
Four-cylinder, he won't pull it.
There's two type of boaters. There is the fisherman, and there's the I drive to some island or some sort of sandbar or whatever,
And-
and I get
and I
out
park.
and I stand and I drink beers.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I'm
and
that
then
kind
I
of
get,
guy. And then occasionally I'll go out and pull people in a tube.
Okay, you want a little bit of
So you're
tube
going
to
for
get
the
the
Definitely
knowledge,
tube,
You're
definitely
going for the
tube.
most dangerous one, which is drunk tuber man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fish. I'm not a fisherman at all, so I could care less about that.
So it's
crap.
all so you want a boat so you could drive to
So
a
I can
place,
do exactly what I do now at my house,
And-
just on the water.
and then you get out and you stand and you drink beer.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
didn't
but I wanna-
drink.
yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
That's-
so-
that's
I'll watch
gonna-
everyone
so
else.
what are you gonna
By
do?
the way, that was my
Because
angle
if you
for
take out
talking him out of it because, like, my whole thing is if you don't drink beer,
I like the
it-
smell of this. I mean, honestly, I like the. I guess that smell thing you
Get
you
a
told me
can.
about.
Yeah, so-
smell of the salt. Well, salt water would be
So-
like salt there and like.
So Seth,
I don't know.
let's talk about the reality.
Hear the seagulls going.
There are very few. Like, okay, you've got a young girlfriend. I've seen her nude.
Wow, dude.
I saw her nude this morning.
She did an extremely risque custom for a BDM. BDMs are weird, man.
What they want?
Extremely risque.
Smashing her butt on a cake.
Oh, she
cake
did-
That's actually pretty popular
She
with
did cake
BDM.
farts.
How much does that cost?
I didn't ask.
It's
what you
actually
guys
pretty
did.
popular
Well,
BDMs.
yeah.
What are you doing it
Well-
too? Is everybody around here farting on cake?
No, I just know
Oh, I
another
have a proposition
BDM.
for you too about that. I don't know if you want to talk about it now or not.
I
but-
do want to talk about
Yeah.
it. No, like,
well, no, she wants you guys to. You guys do video stuff. She wants to call in as she's filming a custom for somebody, but not, be okay with like PG-13 style.
Yeah.
She wants to be on the phone with you guys.
Whatever she
as
wants to do.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen her
yeah.
naked. She wants.
I
to-
want to pay for a
if
custom
she
video.
wants to, if she wants to stand in front of me naked and stab me in the chest with a knife, I'll let her do it. I don't care. Whatever she wants to do.
So anyway, and plug her OnlyFans again.
Wednesday Collects. Onlyfans.com/Wednesday Collects.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you
Tom
see
Rock, man, I
Seth's
haven't been on
girlfriend, she's 22.
23.
And
she actually has a birthday coming up in, oh crap, in 2 weeks.
Tell her that you don't, after 25, that's
Oh,
where you
does
draw
she
your
know?
line. Yeah.
Does she know
That's when
TikTok,
you
TikTok?
recycle.
That's what I'm
TikTok,
getting. That's what I'm
TikTok?
getting the boat to prepare.
What are you gonna put her on the boat and push her out into the ocean?
No, girls like boats. Right? That's why I was really close to getting a deck or pontoon boat, but I thought people would look at that and be like, you have a deck or pontoon boat. It's kind of lame.
They're cool, but I mean, I wouldn't say it's the first thing I think of to say.
See, for me,
girls.
They like boats
that's what I had
because-
as growing up. My family, we had a big deck boat and a pontoon boat, and we all went out, like 12, 15 of us went on that, and we pulled each other on the tube. We sat and had some meatball subs, and we like hung out in the
So
water.
this
the
is
whole
all for meatball subs and tubing.
Yeah.
Well, there's, okay.
As you're tubing.
Back to your girlfriend. She, I imagine, wants the boat party atmosphere, which you would get at holiday weekends, long weekends, or like Disappearing Island.
Yeah.
There's like a family side and and there's other islands.
The party atmosphere.
There's Ski Island and Cocoa Beach. They're in Lake Butler. It's like a bird island, I believe. Like the people
Bird
go
Island.
there. In Conway, there's Conway Wipeout, which we went to, and
That's cool. Yeah, like all that.
Holiday weekends, the boats get together. The Glen, it has at the mouth of the Glen
Yeah,
now.
you
You
can go to
can't
the
bring
mouth of the
alcohol.
Glen.
But boats, you get together, and then everybody gets out. waist deep water, and then drinks beer.
And then you just stand around each other drinking and peeing.
Yeah. So and you stand and you drink beer.
Main thing.
And
that's all you do.
Like a big party,
now
like
people,
and then when you're done with that, you start getting you get a little buzz or a little drunk, and you're like, I'm going to eat my Publix sub now. So you walk over to the thing.
You get in your boat, and then you eat your Publix
like
sub
a
drunk.
pig. You eat it like an animal.
Now, a lot of us see the videos of the hot young girls dancing, turned down for
That's
what?
fake, man.
Yeah.
Now
That's not real.
That happens in tiny pockets at certain
cells.
boats.
They call them cells, sleeper cells.
Little sleeper cells in holiday weekends. But for the vast majority,
it's fat drunk guy eating sub.
And swamp river rats.
It's fat,
Or
super tan boat dad.
Yeah, leather.
fat grandma yelling at her grandkids.
Drinking beer with high water at some sort of glen or in the like Duda River or Disappearing Island, whatever. It's you stand out behind your boat.
Yeah, behind your
waist
boat,
deep water,
eating and
drink beer.
Yeah. Like you stand back there like a horse.
That's it's the fishermen guys that go out and they like fishing. But for the rest of us, it's drive to the island. Then once you add the kids version of this, because I did it before and then after kids. Now with the kids, it's less drinking. It's more the kids are playing.
But I'd want to have my niece and nephew out on it sometimes. And stuff like that. Like I want to be that.
That's fine.
That uncle that.
Okay.
Like, let's go.
You're a 40-something-year-old man. Your
they'll be
girlfriend.
Why isn't Uncle Seth married?
Your girlfriend wants.
I don't know. He's just never found the one, kiddo.
She wants to go out with her friends, like.
Well, I want to do that too, for
and
100%.
be on a bikini and the front of it tan on the.
And then you're kind of driving them around as they tan.
Yeah, I'll
and
do
then
that.
there's
I
a
like
party
that.
going
I get to
on.
stare and creepily.
But what I'm saying is that the party rarely, it doesn't happen as much as you would think, because the internet, just like everything, it only highlights
shows the good stuff.
The awesome. You're like, oh, owning a boat's awesome. I'm gonna be at this huge Lake Conway wipeout, chained up. It's like
you don't see how difficult it is to get there, how many people, like how hard it is to leave, finding a spot to park, tying your boat off.
Good luck getting into Lake Conway during wipeout weekend. It's
you're
nearly
fighting some
impossible.
fat dad who's yelling at you.
Also, not to talk all bad. Listen, I love boating. I have a boat. I'm just telling you the reality.
But you're telling me, but your boat, you said you can just call and they put it right in the water for you, right?
Yeah,
well, if they're not using it at the time.
Oh, yes, it's at Marina, but that limits. I can only go to St. John's.
But you can also say put it on a trailer.
Yes,
on
I
your
can tow
trailer.
it.
You can tow it.
I'm seeing a pattern here
Okay.
where Tom, he loves his boat, he brags about his boat. When anybody else wants to get a boat, he tries everything in his power to not
Here's why.
have them
He
get the
tries to
boat.
hold him down.
Here's why.
He doesn't want
You
them
want to be the
He wants to
only
be the
one
only
with the
one?
boat.
Yeah, you're
There can
the
be only
only
one.
one allowed to boat.
Remember,
I'm going to come back with a 2022 26-footer and
I read
shove
it
right in your face.
I read an article about professional surfers, some big names in the surf industry that were super mad that surfing was in the Olympics this year.
Oh.
And and the logic behind it was they were like, well, there's the end of all good breaks out there. It's going to be so packed, you'll never catch a good wave again.
So this is what he's
and
doing.
so
Well, lucky for them, nobody watched the Olympics, so there is that flaw
That's
there.
true.
But the fact that they didn't want surfing to be highlighted because in already packed like breaks, and there's only a certain amount. Daniel knows.
Oh
He uses
yeah!
sort of like,
Oh my God! There's already breaks in, like even in New Smyrna, it gets too packed sometimes.
Like I bet you probably can't go to the North Shore really anymore, because it's so packed, because it's so popular. Everybody goes there.
And there are a lot of people that probably have no business being out there.
Yes, yeah, that's
because that is like really dangerous, and if you're gonna do it, you pay your dues. And
if I openly talk about how awesome boating is, then Seth and every other Seth out there is getting their boat.
Oh, they already
because
are.
they got $25,000 to burn, and then they're out there and they're crashing into me.
Are we through that? That not being able to find boats, not being able to find RVs. Are we out of that yet?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, because we got back into Corona. Now it's
coming back again.
I think it's there. It's here to stay.
Because the one that I sent you, literally 4 hours sold. The one that
Yeah.
another one that
okay.
I'm looking at, it's like I clicked on the link again. It said no longer available. Like so, they're like there and going
Dude,
away.
I lucked out. I bought my boat in February. Before Corona
That's
really
like
hit in March.
my
So-
house. I
Yeah.
bought
Like,
it
yeah.
right in March, and then right before everything shut down.
Yeah, yeah. And so I
Now,
like.
what about you renting your boat to Seth to put more miles on yours, right?
Wait, why do you want to put more miles on it?
Well, because you want to use it.
Yeah,
you don't.
yeah.
You don't want it to sit.
Yeah.
It's like a
Oh,
motorcycle.
sitting
Like it's like your
boats break.
motorcycle. You don't want that thing to sit.
Oh, it's been sitting for 6
that's
months.
bad. That's
If
the
anybody
worst.
wants a Victory gun, 2017 Victory gunner.
I mean, you could rent it out.
Badass Victory
you
gunner.
Could rent it,
sitting
well,
right there.
Victory's not even a company anymore.
I know, it's a classic
That
now.
may not help your argument.
No, it's a
but,
classic.
But I love Victory bikes. But you can get people riding it. Best thing for it to get somebody riding it.
Here's the problem. Well, with the motorcycles and the boats, and this is why I believe the peer-to-peer stuff is not going to be as popular with the boats, because it's already happening with cars. But people have an understanding of how to drive a car. Like most people have been driving a car since they were 16 at least or whatever. So driving a supercar, although harder, you at least have confidence that they kind of understand
the
drive.
road. Yeah,
they
yeah.
drive every day. Boats are different. Like people think they're like, oh yeah, what's so hard about it? And you're right. When you are driving straight, like down the river, it's just throttle
easy
and
breezy.
turning. It's the docking part.
Yeah,
That's
I knew
the hardest part.
I've
And
docked
then
a boat plenty of times.
also the taking your boat in and out of the water, especially when everybody's around
That's
you.
what I was gonna say,
Watching
yeah.
you, and at the
It's
end of
hard,
the day,
man.
At the beginning of the day when you're sober, it's fine.
Now,
At
are
the
you
end
gonna-
of the day,
is your girlfriend going to assist you, or are you going to
Let's
have?
just say, is there any way possible to do this? So, like, back the car in, park. Because I did it with the wave runners. I've did it solo before, but boat might be different.
you need a first mate. My wife,
100%. No way you
Crystal's
can do it.
great.
well, with the
Because
big
you could tie your boat off, go get your car, back the trail in the water, then take
The thing
your
is,
boat
every
and
boat ramp-
floor it till it goes up on.
every
No,
boat ramp is packed.
They're going to put so much pressure on you, and they're going to be leaning on you. It'd be better for you to ask one of the guys around. Hey, you want to help me out?
You need to teach Tracy how. Okay, this is what I've started doing with me and Crystal.
Oh,
It was
she's
like-
gonna resent you for
I,
that.
I would I'd back the boat up, and now Crystal knows how to do it.
I've seen you guys do this,
But-
but yeah, they have a whole system.
I'll back
Tracy's good with cars and trucks. She knows how to
with
parallel-
trailers.
I don't know about trailers, but her whole life's been around cars and
Well,
trucks.
she can
and knows how to
practice
do
it. You know, it's something you could learn how to do.
It's difficult though, especially with the size boat you want to buy. Like it's intimidating with a big ass truck. Also
Yeah.
in a packed marina.
True.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You may not want to use the.
Well, I don't know how big- I
you may
think
not
I'm
want
gonna
to
do
use
20
the Scout, considering it's going to be. It's not going to have all the accoutrement and new technology that might benefit you on a boat ramp. You
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
And,
That is true advice. I'm not trying to screw.
No, I got.
So you have to teach. You back up the boat. You get it to where the boat's in the water. For sure, you'll forget to take the straps off or put the plug
Oh,
in.
yeah, the
It'll start
plug.
sinking.
I've done both of those with him 4 or 5 times.
I mean, I'll tell you the million mistakes you'll make, but it doesn't matter.
you'll still make them.
And then you get in the boat and then take the front winch strap off, get in the boat and then have her back it down till the boat starts floating. And then you will then position the boat on the dock, and then she'll park the
But you
the
also
truck
got to
and trailer.
get out of the way and still pick her up because people want to use that. You can't
Yeah.
just wait there.
And by the way, like marinas are so packed that if you get there late on a Saturday or Sunday, you're parking behind the bank like illegally. Like
It can be very rough. Then you're going to be floating over to the side and you're going to be holding on, waiting for her to walk back and get in the boat, but it's not going to start.
all of that. Yeah. I mean, we did this before.
Yeah,
with,
I'm just painting any
Grift
of the
and Jess.
Yeah, I've done this.
Well,
a
your
million
boat,
times.
your boat being
Wait.
a little bit older, does yours always start? Like, if you have you had any trouble? So I know maintenance issues is huge with it. How's yours with maintenance?
Got to
so
run
far?
them.
You have to run it and you have to get it serviced. Luckily, and that's what I never did before. Like I was too poor to ever do the proper anything. Like I never, they say change the oil every year. I'd be like, they're being conservative. I'll do 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying?
My God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're like, it'll be fine. They're like buy the book every year, but that's if you use it every day. I was like, yeah, I can do a 2.5, and then it's like you have to change the gear oil and stuff. But if you have a tiny boat, I used to do that myself. Now, a mechanic for their yearly service is like $700 for one outboard. But that's like you check the spark plugs. Like
They go through
They
it.
go through it. Make sure
water pump. There's another thing. Like the thing that cools your motor down will break every 2 years apparently. see, like, so if you don't change your water pump every couple years, you run the
is
risk
true.
of you're driving, and as soon as that water stops flowing through your engine to cool it, it seizes it, and it's done. And then a new outboard,
God.
250 is what? 30,000?
For
25,000?
Are you serious? For
I
Oh,
got
a
the
new
same-
engine? Oh yeah, they're not.
250. I get 150 for 15
God,
grand.
how would you-
I don't know, something like
How
that.
would you even
really?
find one?
It's expensive as hell.
Where if you could find one, right? I would imagine they'd be just as hard as boats to find.
Well, use
that's as much as the boats. The engine
It is
itself
the
is
boat.
so much.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying brand new. Then you go used, and that's all that stuff. Anyway, so you're eventually gonna get one. I know it for sure.
How about a
because
water jetpack?
You got the bug.
I heard try that. That was scary.
You did the water jetpack?
Yeah, remember I was on it in the
Oh
Speedo?
yeah, I forgot that you did that.
So, in your mind, how often are you gonna use the boat?
In my mind,
Yeah.
I made it like
Do you
because
look-
I always said that I was doing nothing but working on the weekends, doing karate and like working out. So I'm like, I need I need a hobby. I need something me time. I need a break.
Right.
I need some relaxation.
Okay.
So in my head, I was gonna do it at least twice a month.
Okay.
On the weekends.
That's reasonable.
That's a reasonable expectation. It'll go down to once a month and once every other month.
Yeah, that's what I.
Then you start asking yourself, you're like, I'm paying for the storage. The boat costs $25K. Like, if I already have $35K into this, and I've used it twice in the past 6 months, and then you're like, I could just rent one.
You could rent one.
Or,
yeah, I knew they did rentals, but how?
Would
or
you
boat
let
share
But would it-
program.
Would you let Seth use your boat?
I said the same thing to my sister and then the other friends of mine where I'm like, I would let you use it, but I'm not confident you're going to smash into other boats when you're docking this thing.
Yeah.
Or you're going to like, get into a predicament because you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Right.
So that,
Well, how about you take me out once or twice? Let me gain your confidence.
The irony in that is that I've been on his boat, and all he does is smash into other boats. So I'm just gonna let him
like,
have that.
well,
because
yeah,
that's
no, I know.
not-
That way I
I'm
can-
letting-
that's why I know.
I'm letting him have that.
It's like
That's you, man.
If you're a robber, you lock your doors because you know there's other use out there.
He makes an excellent point.
Don't you have those rubber things on the outside of your boat that
No.
just bounce them off?
No,
you
no,
like
no,
bumper,
no,
bumper
You're not
boats?
supposed to ride with those.
You know how many times I scream
Well,
at
I would
Chris, I'm
ride
like,
with
whoa, 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 whoa. Like the boys joke around because I constantly screaming, whoa, 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 whoa. They chanted on the boat.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Because
whoa.
they think it's
my
funny
God.
because
I
I'm
love these
constantly
boys.
crashing into things.
Whoa, 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 whoa! They're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
And if I don't know what the hell
I'll
I'm
do it.
doing,
If I go with
you
you, I'm gonna
definitely don't.
I have reflexes like
Reflex,
like a
what is
cat.
that?
That means
Because if I
nothing.
see something
It's
coming,
not called kicking.
well, but I could reverse, left, right.
No,
I'm
no.
sorry, port, starboard.
Yeah. You'll make all the mistakes I make constantly,
Yeah.
and then continue to make, and then
Well, now you're just projecting.
you get better and better the more time you do it. But it just takes so long to.
Well, your
learn.
boat's a perfect practice boat for it.
Is there anything else out there that you might want other than a
Well,
boat?
I've been looking at a really, really cool electric bike that converts into
So
an
you
electric
just want to
go-kart.
buy something?
Kinda.
Okay.
Well, no, but the boat thing is really like I really have.
You
it
know
in my
how-
head that I
I
You have
wanna
a
buy.
motorcycle. What do you want the electric bike for?
Because it's easy, so much more convenient. to use. Motorcycle, I have to get my helmet. I have to make sure the battery's not.
Are you
smoking.
kind of
The
embarrassed?
helmet.
Are
Well,
you?
you're still gonna die when you get hit by a car with your electric bike. It doesn't matter. If
Okay,
it's
okay. The electric bike-
combustible
electric
He's
engine.
bike
gonna be
is
like that
much
lady
smaller.
on the electric bike with her mask on going down the road.
In
I'm
fact,
like, no helmet,
I
but
can
she got
do
her
it.
mask
I
on.
can work. I can work. I can
The
work.
electric bike is more dangerous,
Yeah, I
buddy,
think
because it
so.
can't hear you.
I can
You're
work-
silent. You're like, oh, I killed that guy.
He is correct.
I wonder if his ears are like that before I hit him.
Oh,
I can wear flip flops on the electric bike.
Oh, yeah, but you shouldn't.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my God.
I could.
You looked at an electric bike
Oh
like
my
it's not as dangerous. It goes just as fast.
No,
You're-
it's only like 25, 30.
Oh man, people getting killed on electric bikes left and right.
Yeah, but I would only drive it within like on my neighborhood, like
well,
Thornton
just in your
Park.
straw on the street.
Just get a
What's
golf
the
cart.
other? What else?
I was looking at
Ooh,
golf. I was
golf
looking at
cart.
golf. I was really looking at golf.
You're
carts.
more of a golf cart man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like cool big tire golf cart.
Tracy
Yeah.
will think that's awesome.
Yeah, and you can get the. You know, he can get the speaker
That's
system
way better
on
than your
it.
cigarette boat.
You can get the speaker system on it, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you can,
No,
you
no.
know,
Christmas lights
and
around
then you can drive
it.
her around and she can booty shake to the
The
neighbor.
22-year-old girls do not find golf carts cool at all.
No.
There's nothing.
in the
You,
neighborhood.
No.
In fact, putting a system and big wheels
it
on it
makes
makes
it
it
an old
worse.
man's golf cart.
It makes
Yeah.
it worse.
Yeah, it does.
It makes it less cool.
It's like you live in the village.
But it's very
Yeah.
convenient to drive just to Thornton Park and like all Mills 50 area. with
Seth,
that
you know how
on
they?
the sidewalk.
Dude, I got it. Slingshot.
I know
Slingshot
he
would be
wanted a
cool.
Slingshot?
Yeah, they're all right. I don't know.
You have a
Dune
slingshot
buggy.
written on all over you.
Yeah, you
A what?
Dune buggy?
You know how football.
Where'd I ride that?
4-wheeler.
You could
Four wheeler.
Well, that's why I'm getting the Scout. I'm going off road, not Scout. I don't care.
Okay, it's a classic.
Talk about.
And that's why I did my Hummer the whole time. That's why I'm getting it.
all good places are packed too. Like if all the 4-wheel off-road
they're slammed.
places to ride are slammed crazy.
all the bike tracks are.
It made it worse. Just how the surfers described the Olympics as a packed their like places. Corona did that for anybody who liked the outdoors, like anybody who liked to camp, RV, a 4-wheel.
You suddenly have
4x4.
all these pale normal people outside.
Well, you have everybody that went into that
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, I could do this, alone or just with my family, get away from people. And now every place is freaking packed again, and so it does take it away from, because you go out there for adding a bunch of people to the situation doesn't make things better.
No.
It makes it more crowded and more people crash into each other, more unexperienced people out.
What's our timeline on this? When are you pulling the trigger?
Well, I mean, I if I didn't text him, I was gonna call the guy and be like, "Hey, I'll pay cash for it sight unseen." I was about to do it.
Oh, really?
I'm about to just do
so
it.
you got the bug bad.
Yeah, but I'm like that though. If I see something I want, I'm like my Hellcat. I was like I went there like thinking I was just gonna look, and I saw. I was like, no, I'll buy it. That's screwed. I just did it.
All right.
There's a thing called a boat broker, and I could be that for you. I'm
not paying you anything, but okay.
Oh, I take 3 to 5% as a boat broker, but I get you. I'll save you the money in the negotiation and not buying
Okay, I'm
SE
interested.
boat.
I'm
That's,
listening.
that's why people go to boat brokers because they know about the boat and it saves them money from making a costly mistake.
Well, I thought you'd do that as a friend. I was gonna ask you to go with me to buy the boat.
Friend,
Yeah.
it's a business deal. And
I'll take you out on it or something.
I
He's
got a
already got a
boat
boat.
that I don't even use.
Are you guys gonna do a boat race?
Wait, how often?
Just
Yeah,
like
how
the
often?
car
do
race?
you- How often do you use?
Don't
it?
talk about
Once
it.
every quarter.
I
Oh,
want,
really? It's like
I've only been on it once,
Never been on it.
and I think he's only been on it. How many times have you?
I mean, I've been on your
honestly?
old boat once
How
or
many
twice.
times
Less
have you
than
been on
10.
it? Oh yeah, it's less than 10. Absolutely.
And
And
we've
how
had
long
it
have
for
you had
over
it?
a year. Last
really?
February.
so
When
less
was
than
that?
once a month.
Yeah, it's less than 10 for sure.
Well, that time I took you out, I've taken it out 25 times, 30 times.
Oh man, that's not true.
See, if I had
Since
a
I bought
place,
it, it's been almost
There's
2
no
years.
way.
I'm also
there's
looking
no
at-
way you've taken that boat out 25
It'd be like
times.
twice a
I am
month.
also looking at places in St. Pete. Like I did this before. I got with Tracy, but I was gonna look like a little one like a condo to buy or something like that on the
Oh,
water.
so you can cheat on her.
No.
Oh.
So I wanted just to have a place to get away. So that was my other
And a
idea.
beach house.
Is just have a beach house to get away to on
Now
the
that's
weekends.
not a bad
That's
idea.
probably your best
Yeah, it's a
idea.
better
But with a
investment for
dock
sure.
and a boat there.
It's gonna be pricey, buddy.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
no. I'm looking at a few. It's not.
You can
not
Airbnb
horrible.
it too.
Yeah, well, a lot of places in St. Pete don't let you Airbnb condos because it's the part of the association. They're like, oh, we don't want just random people in here. We want owners only.
Oh, it's
a
a-
lot of them are like that, like a little community condo
it's
place.
a good time to buy it too because I heard Florida real estate's getting cheaper.
Cheaper.
It's less and
Yeah,
less.
it's a
every
value.
day.
Especially
They,
on
they
the
call it a
beach.
value market.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, on
Yeah.
the beach. And
I
all
know
that,
it's a
yeah.
crappy time
Nobody.
to buy,
yeah,
but-
I mean, there's too much.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
are Italians are buying it all up.
That was my other idea is to have like a little getaway too, like on the weekend.
No, is your house done yet?
My house that I'm living in now,
What you're?
it's been done, but I just find stuff to do, like the pavers.
It seems like you're
I'm
it
tearing
seems
all
like
the
you're
pavers
running
out
from
of the
something.
back.
What are you running from?
No, this is what
My
people
inevitable
do that
doom,
don't
like-
have kids.
Is that what they do?
They try to enhance their own
then
lives.
He wants to burn money so bad, and
No, I
yet
don't wanna burn
he
money.
wants $100 every other week from Tom. It makes no sense. You're
Well,
rich.
that's just principle.
You're rich.
Because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
my
It's
That's
principle.
his, that's his cheap mental
And I got a
illness.
raise last time anyway, so I expect that raise.
Yeah, I
every
saw that come through.
You
And
get
I
a
was like,
raise?
No, I gave my extra
little canceled a
$50 because
For what? He canceled on us twice.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
this
I
was-
said.
well, that,
before.
That's what I
Wait,
realized.
the first cancel was a payback. The second cancel, I legit it was a show, so it wasn't like an event. And I legit didn't want to get you guys sick if I was sick. I was being so courteous.
I wanted to see you and make my own. Like, I wanted to see you.
Would
Diagnosis?
I have been uncomfortable at that place?
Yes, 100%.
No, yeah.
Oh, at Johnny's? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you know how like football agents tell their players, they're like, if
There
it-
aren't any football agents.
agents,
Oh.
if it flies, floats, or Fs, rent it. I think it's probably for a reason, right? It's like people have no business owning planes or boats for the most part.
That's my new thing now.
10%.
So I want to buy a plane.
But yeah, like
Hovercraft would be cool.
Get a hovercraft. That's half boat.
Yeah.
where
And
can
it-
you ride that at?
A hovercraft? That's an excellent question.
Like
Do you have to actually like register that with the state of Florida as some sort of amphibious vehicle?
if it's on the waterway, you have to have like a permit, like a boating permit on it. You know, so but I'm not sure if it's amphibious like that.
They used to sell those. I know in the 90s or late 80s, early 90s, those little fiberglass ones were very popular with rednecks.
Yeah, but it's mainly for their own property and
Yeah,
not to
it's
like
just fun.
drive to the boat ramp.
You just ride it over all your cow patties in your pasture or something, right?
All right, Seth. I'll find you a good boat.
Boat
and,
broker?
Well, but will you take me out on yours once just to teach me a little bit?
You're gonna bring Tracy.
You gonna do
Yeah, I'll bring Tracy.
live OnlyFans?
You know.
You bring
You can
Crystal.
bring your wife?
You bring Crystal. I'll bring Tracy.
Oh, I like that. It's old young. I want to see that. I love old young. Oh, man. Old
It's like the
young.
it's like the stepmom teaching the little
I
daughter.
like
how to-
that. Yeah, stepmom teaches sex. I like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, this is where the penis
It's like
goes.
there's a grandpa and an old lady and a long. And then,
Singles in your area. Well, why are they 105? Do you see it? Everybody
Wait, what?
sees the thing. The pop-up. It'll pop up. It'll be like, you can F singles in your
yeah,
area.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
always a lady who's 83 years old with tight abs. She got tight abs. It's saggy.
what country is this in? This is not America.
Why is she just wearing a string of pearls, completely naked, just a string of pearls? It's weird.
All right, bye.
Samantha will not stop yelling at us.
Yes.
All morning she's been yelling at us to get
Yeah.
a tight 20. Tight 20!
Yeah.
I want a tight 20!
I like it tight.
You lost your tooth. The old man
She
in
did
your
yell
salad.
that. Yeah, she did yell that.
Oh.
And then I believe on Monday she looked me just square into the eyes and said, "You're crazy."
I saw the fear in her eyes when she thought I lost my tooth with my salad. And
Well, that's money. It means money problems.
Yeah.
In dreams.
Well,
so she probably was worried about her own check. I would have been. If your boss's teeth are falling out, you
Yeah.
may not get paid.
Well, that and the pee-pee pants.
Yeah,
There's like
pee in your pants, teeth are falling out.
yeah, like oh my god.
Oh,
is-
Sean from Top Chef Aquatics is here. Does he know your teeth are falling out and you peed your pants
no,
yesterday?
come on, don't tell him that.
Sean, did you know that
No.
Tom peed his pants?
And you're
He's-
consistently forgetting what show we're recording
In
and
this-
where you
I
are.
peed
then-
on my
He
pants,
peed
not
in
in.
his pants.
No,
Same
that's
bathroom,
a lie.
Same bathroom that
Fight,
you changed fish water in, Sean.
I almost kicked these lights down.
Oh my God.
Canadian Josh is here. How you doing, Josh?
Hey.
Hey guys, how you doing? Good to be back. Good to see you.
We're playing your intro.
Okay, there it is.
There
We
we
did
go.
it.
How's it going, Josh?
Good. I'm home on vacation, as you can tell. So it's just
Vacation.
at-home vacation relax mode. Yeah, guys ever get into that groove where it's like, you know what? I could see what it's like not to work for a long period of time. You know,
Yeah.
just your at-home day routine.
100%. Actually, hold that can up again. That's a smaller Canadian beer, right?
This one?
They're little. There.
Oh,
I think
that's-
Josh just has big hands.
No, that's like an 11.4 ouncer, right? Don't they do that weird thing where if you in America you get a 12-ounce can?
Or
in
the
Canada.
Asolito.
Yeah, in
It says 355 milliliters. Of course, it's in metric.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but like they do that where they're like, no, we're not giving you 12 ounces. We'll give you 10.4. We'll give you 11.2.
They're like, we're not doing the same
No,
thing.
that's
those
12,
dumb
that is
Americans.
12 ounces.
Is it?
Yeah.
It looks.
It's the same 12 ounces.
It
of
looks-
355.
It looks tiny.
Are
though.
you a giant?
He is. Got big old hands.
God, you must have a massive
cheese
Canadian
hands.
ding dong. I feel like Canadians, if it is massive, lazy. Hard to get any blood in
yeah,
there.
yeah. It's like Ron Jeremy.
It's like, I don't want to do this, eh?
You gotta hold the base.
They got healthy ones because they have good health care.
Oh, do they?
Nah, you
I
gotta
don't
wait in
know.
lines all day.
I feel like that's just something we yell, but we don't really
my
know.
pop-up said you have to wait in lines all day. You
gotta do that anyway.
You have to see a horse. Your doctor's
horse?
horses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just inject you in maple syrup.
I'm in.
All true. That's all 100% true.
So, Josh, have you been rooting for Canada in the Olympics?
I have, actually. It's funny you should bring that up, Tom. Well, I wasn't until the Canadian women's soccer matchup came up on my radar. And I'm sure if you guys are following soccer as well, it came up on yours as we, shocked the U.S., quite frankly. Did you guys catch that game?
Yeah, my wife was so into the Olympics. And I kind of I would dabble and I would enjoy it in the afternoons or evenings when we could put it on to talk. But I didn't really pay attention to it. Yeah. And unfortunately, when it comes to women's sports...
Yeah. I only like to see women play the skin flute.
That's the worst thing you've ever said, and most hated. You blew,
You're an old pop-pop.
You blew
It's Coors Light out his nose.
You blew Canadian Josh's Coors Light right out of his hand. Look, he'll never be the same. That's the worst thing you've ever said.
He couldn't hide his sexism.
He's like, it's so good.
That's a test.
You know what? You know what?
Test.
Based on that test, you're now American, Josh.
Are we recording? Did we start?
We
Yeah,
are.
we're recording.
Wow.
Yeah, you can say
Tom.
you can say skin flute. That's what even is that?
Yeah. And
I'd like to sit in front of men in suits at the FCC. Oh, are we gonna really dial this down? You want me to explain it to you?
FCC, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's not even a thing anymore.
FU, FCC.
Yeah! Suck my skin flute.
Although I did use
can't say that
just
part.
the letters.
Yeah.
You
gotta cut that out. They're still out there.
I don't want the pain in the ass.
Yeah. I want to act tough, but then behind the scenes, you cut it all out.
Yeah.
And then I'll play the move where I'll be like, "What do you mean, Sam? Cut that out. I want to be my authentic self."
And then we have to they're like, we do exist. There's a violation. You owe us
$150,000, and I'm like, oh.
Because
and then I just changed the name of the LLC.
I know Tom signed Donald Duck, but it's still this contract's binding.
Yeah, it
doesn't
is
matter.
binding.
You signed it. Doesn't matter what you signed. Anyway.
Then I better call him. Oh, yeah, there he is.
So, Josh, what happened with Canadian women's soccer?
Well, we won, beat U.S. in penalty shots, and then went on and beat Sweden. So that was a highlight of the Olympics for me, anyway.
Let me ask you this, Josh. It feels like the Olympic soccer should matter as much as the World Cup, but doesn't. And
yeah, it's true.
And because essentially you're saying it's the same, you're representing your company or your country.
Hey, maybe you were onto something with that Freudian.
In a soccer tournament, but I feel like it's not a big now. If the U.S. Women's Soccer League lost to Canada in the World Cup, I feel like a bigger deal, right?
Yeah.
Do we have not the same players that play in?
Do we have not the same players? Are they not on the same side?
This is how I just don't know.
No, it was just the way you said that.
The U.S. women's national team is not the same U.S. women's national team in the Olympics, or is it?
It's pretty darn close. We have a lot of our heavy hitters in there. We should have done better than we did. We didn't. But I say it's not a big deal.
It's not the team we are going to field for the World Cup.
Some could even say it might be better. We just didn't do well.
Okay, well, the world. That's what I was saying. The best teams are put together for the World Cup, not necessarily the Olympics, right?
Either. But I'm saying our team just didn't play well.
Gotcha.
I don't think it has anything to do with the caliber of talent. Still, I think globally, and I think even Josh would probably agree. Canada, very good team, but the caliber of just mega badasses that we have, and then younger mega badasses right underneath them, we're definitely still the big dog.
Because I'm asking this because it's our U.S. men's basketball team could have better players, but the better players
it doesn't
matter
not going,
to them, right?
Right, it doesn't matter to them.
So technically, the best players in the United States are not playing in the Olympics U.S. men's basketball team.
That's correct.
And I was just wondering if that's the same thing for
I think everything's
soccer.
kind of going to that. I mean, I think eventually it will be there with women's soccer. Unfortunately, women don't get paid enough, and their sport still isn't big enough. That still matters a little bit more on their stage, I feel like. And even in men's soccer, because the sports, they're just not as popular in America or in North America. But I feel like, yes, to answer what you're saying, World Cup is the big dog, and I feel like playing for your country in World Cup and then like Champions League play, that's where your top-tier soccer is.
And then
that's just me.
And I think, and I'm ignorant to all this, but there was some rule now, or that like the U.S. men's soccer team, like they're getting less experienced players. Like the best players aren't going to like playing for their country.
Well, it depends on who gets called up and like by the manager, right? So if you manage the team, you might decide to bring in a bunch of younger guys that you want to rely on, or you might want to bring in a little bit of some of your old guard that have the experience of playing in bigger tournaments, but with younger speed and faster legs. It really depends on what system the coach wants to play. The weird thing is that we always get some of the same coaches that have been in the system on and on and on. Like, for instance, Tom Sermani, I believe, is still coaching the ladies' Australian team.
Huh. So you beat us, Josh. You just call in to rub it in our faces?
Well, I was going to talk about that. I had some other stuff, Tom, I was going to talk about. But, Tom, I'm going to ask you a question. Just you and I can go on a little side tangent here. A couple corporate times ago, you were talking about having to have the talk with your boys. I have a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old, and I was thinking, like, this wasn't something I really planned on talking about. I didn't have it in my notes, but I'm like, I wonder if Tom needs help on having the talk with his boys when they get to that age, because I've done it. I can help you out if you have any questions.
Okay, well, what'd you say, Josh? Because that's what... Yeah.
You got a ding dong down there, eh? Down there, there's a ding and a dong, and the ding is the thing that goes in, and the dong produces the stuff that comes out of the ding, and there we are, eh?
I did the research on all, like, the child psychology web pages and stuff like that. So the biggest take home I got was it's good with boys, it's good for the dad to have the talk, and with girls, it's good for the girls. So obviously I was up because we have two boys. And the point was just, be logical, be quick and to the point. And one thing that was really interesting, they also said, let the kid know that you are just as uncomfortable having this talk with him as he is you having it with him. And you just get to the point.
What if you're not? I'm going to break the
point.
mold.
Yeah,
You're skipping over the good part.
Yeah, what is the point? Like, what am I doing it for?
Ding. I told you the point's the ding.
I'm gonna be like, didn't you learn this on the internet? For sure you have, right?
Wow.
Like,
I mean, you can gather it. It's like IKEA directions. It's not that hard. The thing goes in the thing.
And Josh, you had this talk when your boys are 14 and 15?
15, yeah. When my oldest son had a girlfriend for the first time, like where it was like getting to be a serious girlfriend.
I was smoking weed and already blasted girls at 15.
Oh, you're saying I was late?
Yeah, you're late. 15's late, dude.
Yeah.
15 is late.
Hold on. Let's not say late. Let's say 15's just right. You know what I'm saying? Because when you say late, you might be like you're automatically projecting a level of you needed to be doing something. When you say late, it's negative. It's like you shouldn't be. You should have already been doing that. That's not true.
He's at access.
I think once you start growing hairs down there, it's the time to start having the conversation.
I think that's pressure. You're putting pressure on people.
Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and assume something here. Okay, when
everybody
as soon as you hit your teens,
everybody does it at their own time.
No, listen.
That's how teen pregnancies happen.
I don't know. Like, I assume they know by the age of.
When did you have your first sex ed class? I was in like 7th grade.
Oh,
12,
so that's 12. Yeah. So that, I mean, you need to start talking about it around then.
Yeah, but I already knew what that was. It wasn't like I didn't have no idea. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you didn't know everything about it and how to be safe.
Like my neighbor showed me a porno mag when I was like,
"Hey, come over here! Look at this porno mag in my mustache." I want you to sit right there and stare at these horrible images.
Yeah. Like after my dad died and I hit the streets,
He hit the streets for a long time. It was just porno mags, IROC Z's, and Oreo Speedwagon blasting in strange men's Mustangs.
My mom was traumatized, newborn baby. Like I just raised myself after that, and then I saw porno mags. And I got the
that's what I'm saying. It's like IKEA directions.
So based on that logic, I'm assuming that because kids have access to the internet, they're gonna see pornography way earlier than even we did.
Hold on a
That's
second.
something you got to talk about. That's an important conversation to have with your kids.
Well, when do I talk about it? Should I talk to him now?
No.
What do we guess on? 13 seems to be the
What about just
13? That's
about,
way too late. They're going to see porn.
Wait a minute. They're all involved, and they all love the tube sites, right? They love the YouTube and all that.
They're looking at
Isn't there just a video on YouTube of some really well-qualified doctor dad that does the talk where I can just go, hey, watch this, and hit play, and then I can just step aside and let the experts do the talking?
But there's two different things here.
And then you got to sit next to him and ask him if they have any questions.
No. I'm not going to sit next to him. I say, come get me. I'm going to go take a poop. Come get me when you're done.
So let me talk to you about this. There's a lot of different reasons you have the talk. Okay, do you have the talk to explain what intercourse is? There's that. Literally the science behind how it's done.
That's part of the
whatever.
Conversation.
Then it's like the safe part about it is like if you do this is
that's probably the number one. I feel like safe.
There's disease, and then you don't want to get someone pregnant without a plan. So there's that part of it.
God,
consent. You need to have conversations about consent.
Oh my God!
What? What's that?
Yeah.
So yeah. And
don't you come into my house with the happies.
But we've already started that. It's like when we tell the boys, like, never touch anybody without them letting you. And then,
we do that
all the stuff. But I'm saying the actual, literally, how it's done. What I'm saying is I think that nowadays, because the internet and it's one search away, that kids are being exposed to it way earlier.
They're being exposed to stuff, but it's not necessarily good stuff. Or educational stuff.
No, but I'm saying you see how it's done. That's all I'm saying. Like, so you don't need to explain how it's done. You need to explain how to do it safely. That's the talk. Or are you explaining how it's done?
No, exactly what you said, buddy. I assumed they knew the mechanics. So, but yeah, it was basically the safety aspect of it.
That's a big part of what I didn't understand. I'm like, well, because I remember.
Okay, well, why are you freaking out, bro?
He is freaking out.
Because I remember when I was way young, and my cousin. I may have been Tommy's age or whatever. My older cousin.
Are you going to teach them the anatomy of a female and how to please them?
No, that's not my job.
What? I don't even know that.
But that's not my job.
That's why you didn't have sex education.
And how to please them. How to please them is a step too far. I can show you the path.
It's not.
I can teach a man how to fish, but I'm not fishing for you.
Yeah. You don't tell your kids how to please.
I'm not teaching my daughter how to get pleasure out of sex. That's just not happening.
Wow. Okay.
No.
So you would?
Yes, I would.
So you would sit down and be like, "This is
Samantha.
You make sure that you find yourself a man that knows where your clitoris is."
Well, how are they going to learn? How are they going to learn?
That's not part. That's not part of a parent.
That's up to them to go and try it.
Fair enough. You're going to have a lot of displeasured people in the world.
Well, that's fine. Samantha, I can respectively say you have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
That's okay. Samantha does have kids. And
here we go.
Seriously,
no, it fits this
Josh,
one. This one it fits.
Josh, no,
this one it fits. You don't teach your sons how to get pleasure out of sex. Nobody does.
Okay.
Nobody teaches their kids that.
Probably
I wasn't going to, but now I'm going to.
No, you're not. Nobody's going to do that.
Tell Little Cheese. Let Little Cheese know.
Listen,
you see Josh sitting down with Little Cheese and go like, "This is how you really do it to really get her going."
You don't have to be gross about it.
Does that.
You got to be scientific about it. That's why I said teach the anatomy.
Nobody does.
And what each thing does.
You just say if you're going to do. Listen, if you do it,
you
wear
sound like
a condom.
me when I was talking to Ross and I had it all figured out about kids and I was dead wrong. I was dead wrong, and I told Ross.
No one teaches a kid how to properly
all of the females in the chat agree with me.
Yeah,
because females, look, we crap on females so much that when one female says something, they all feel the need to weigh in on it and stick up for you. But you're wrong on this. Yeah. This is 100% wrong.
You're saying there's moms that have talked to their 12-year-old daughter about how to properly pleasure
themselves.
No, not themselves.
And to men. That's what she said.
Yeah. Like how to be a good lover and how to give a good whatever. No one. You could say be safe, but no one's explaining like your fair villa.
You leave here every day. I say drive safe, but I ain't telling you how to drive home.
Yeah, no one's giving a fair villa sex education.
The females seem to be disagreeing with
you. The females seem to be wrong on this.
Yeah,
I have no problem dying on this hill. I'll die on it. I'll die on it right now.
Yeah.
Look, it doesn't bother me. I don't have to deal with it. But
I'm just saying,
it's a good thing you don't.
But maybe that's why there's a lot of
if you came to
women that aren't satisfied with men because nobody taught them what to do or what does what.
If you were a new mom and you came in here and said you taught your daughter how to pleasure a man, I would be thinking about calling child services on you. I would be seriously.
This is insane to me, but okay.
No, that's not a conversation for parents to have. That's a conversation.
That's
you
feel
have
me the willy. I feel
with
like
peers, with your peers, or
I've never been rattled like this before.
Or professional, professional.
This is odd.
Hot.
No, I don't think that's not a thing. That's not a thing.
Okay.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of anybody say that.
Triggered right now. I think I need to go flush my head in the toilet.
Anyway, Josh, what do you got next?
I think this has been the best segment I've ever done.
I'm having fun, but man, she got me good.
Yeah, that's definitely not a thing.
I'm sweating right now.
Maybe with your adult daughter or something, where
no,
you feel comfortable.
No.
But I'm saying that when you're both adults and then you're like maybe you're more open like that's, but no one's having a conversation with a teenager like a 13-year-old girl. Or even my sons. I'm not going to be like, here's how you do it.
See, you're making it gross, and I'm not saying that. I'm saying be scientific about the anatomy of the person and what. Never mind. You know what? Move on. Katie and Josh.
Well, is it scientific or here's how you do it? I don't even know the science.
Either rabbit
exactly.
or
You
turtle.
don't know the science, so you couldn't even teach your kids anyway.
No, but I'm not qualified for that. Like, you go to a professional,
God.
someone you're not related to. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm thinking.
Go to Fair Villa. Take the Fair Villa class. That's what
go.
I'm saying. Like, having a conversation. Anyway, Josh, what do you got next?
That's a tough one, Josh.
Well, we just got back to recording the Little Cheese podcast today. So after about a 2-month hiatus, he's got back in the recording seat today. So check him out, The Little Cheese Show. That's anywhere podcasts are found, and he streams on Twitch, twitch.tv/littlecheese437.
I love it. What made him get back into it? You just leaning on him hard and begging?
I was threatening to sell his recording equipment to Tuttle.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because he stopped doing it, and you wanted to keep him. He started it, and you wanted to keep him doing it.
Yeah, and I'm like, I got people in Florida who would take this recording equipment. It's a good 3-person setups and nice little Behringer mixing board. So
now, what happened to his myriad of sidekicks he had?
Well, he had one in today, so there's only I think boys are weird like that. They get into little I noticed in the group of 6 or 7 of them. There's always 2 or 3. They're in, they're out. So yeah, one of them's on the outs right now. So I'm sure the other 2 are going to talk mad S about him on the show, and that'll probably lead to some sort of podcast war here.
Okay, all right, I like that. Yeah.
It's weird when do the kids your age or your son's age that are into recording themselves playing video games, which is a popular form of entertainment, obviously.
Yeah,
huge.
exactly.
If not one of the biggest, if not the biggest.
I feel like it's easy enough now where so many people are doing it. Is it special to even be on? And I'll explain it like this. Used to be if you were on the radio when we were growing up, Josh, and this includes you, if you called in for a request or you were on the radio, it was like a huge deal. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Or the news or whatever. And now I don't know if that's as big of a deal for younger people because there's so much media and social media that you're used to being seen all the time. So I don't know if there's anything that moves the needle if you get on your friend's video game podcast, if that matters to you, if you're excited, oh, I was on this thing, or if it's normal because everything you do is out there for the public to see, right?
That's interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Do you even get excited? I was on Little Cheese's video game podcast. I guess it depends on the numbers of people.
I do think to kids it moves the needle less now because videoing and then putting it out there instantly and then having it catch fire and then possibly become, quote, viral is... It's a thing. Before, the only way that we had something that would be even considered close to viral would be just standard entertainment channels, right? TV stations, radio stations, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and having you guys talk about it was huge to him too. That was a big deal for him. So that I kind of get the in with you guys, and then so a lot of your BDMs and a lot of your listeners do follow him on Twitch. So when he was recording this morning, Norm was in there, Chigardi, some of the ones you guys see in your Twitch stream. And there's the guys, and that moves the needle for him.
What does Norm do for a living?
How dare you? He told you he runs the numbers.
Yeah.
Hold on. What does that mean?
I believe it was runs and crunches,
Yes.
Sam. But yeah, he's a.
You know what? I'm talking to other adults that have these jobs, and I'm like, "What do you do?" And they tell me, and I'm like, That's nothing.
But now you know how people feel when we say what we do, right?
Yeah, but at least you're seeing us do something in this block of time, right? Like you're like, oh, that's. I'm telling you, people have described their job like, I bounce this sheet, I do this, and I'm like, yeah, but what is it? Like, are you pushing buttons? Are you doing math
He
equations?
was saying he like drives traffic to different websites and stuff, right? Remember? And then you told him you want him to drive traffic to Tom and
To
Dan.
our
that
side.
time.
Yeah. But what does that mean?
I don't know. A bunch of bots. He's a bot.
Okay, so is it just he's pushing a button anyway? He's just pushing a couple buttons?
I'm sorry, Josh. We didn't get to
He's
a lot
just
of your
watching us
stories.
and
we
watching-
had too much sex talk.
We did.
He can't be doing much because he's just watching us and little cheese all day. They're wasting his time.
He's even missing us for little cheese, which I'm kind of proud of him.
Anyway, sorry, Josh.
Okay, it's a good.
We got to get out of here, buddy.
All right, love you guys. Free Britney.
All right, we love you
Yeah.
too. Free Britney indeed.
Go tell your sons how to do it.
Yeah, go.
I bet they already know.
Go tell them the best way to pleasure a woman.
Little cheese knows.
I will never do that.
You know where I wish my pop-up would have told me what he thought.
He probably didn't know either, just like you. Too
My
embarrassed
dad-
to talk about it.
I know, but I
tell
wanted
me. My dad did tell me. His dad did tell him. It's not a thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it should be. Is
Okay,
the point.
maybe it should be a thing, but I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't think it'll ever get to the point where anybody's
I mean,
comfortable
there are
enough to
parents
do
that do it, but it's fine. Bye-bye.